What is good? What is going on? And what is cracking? I am Philly Foothills, and I am back in another episode of East Meets West with my guys here, Big Three and AK Eagles of Eagles Uncensored podcast. It's officially episode 16, if I'm not mistaken. And we definitely got a lot to talk about because the trade deadline has passed today in the NFL at 4 p.m. Eastern time, and the Eagles did make a small move, but it's definitely been kind of a crazy and busy day in the NFL. As we were talking about a little bit behind pre-show in backstage there, that it's just really sad to see a young man like Henry Ruggs make a stupid decision that not only is going to change his life forever, but he took a life off of this earth that was way too soon, way before it should have been. It's I don't know if everybody has heard, but a receiver for the Las Vegas Raiders was involved in a DUI accident where he was driving, and unfortunately it resulted in a young lady losing her life. So I wanted to first, obviously let everybody know that I'm really happy to be back on here, because it's been a few days and it seems like it's been a long time, but I got my first vax shot, so I was feeling definitely a little ill over the weekend, but definitely back to my normal energy today. Got a lot done. It was a great day, so happy to be here with my guys. What's going on, AK? How you doing, my guy?
Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing? Glad you're back. Good. Glad you're feeling good. Ready to get this going.
Yes, absolutely. And this is like I said, another episode of East Meets West. It's always a Wagyu production, so definitely glad you guys are enjoying it. And shout out to the six in the live stream right now. Definitely, we got people in here.
Shout out to you guys.
Definitely, BLSG. He's always one of the first ones in. Definitely said yes, sir. Let's get it. First one here, and here very early. Absolutely appreciate you, SG. Let's see here. And Vic said appreciate you, BLSG. Yep, yes, sir. AK, can you see Vic right now? Because I'm seeing a spinning wheel.
No, I see him.
You see him? Okay, let me go out and come back in.
Yeah, I was gonna say he was a little choppy earlier. I don't know if everyone heard that, but yeah, man, appreciate everyone that came through, everyone in the chat. We were talking about it earlier. Thoughts and prayers go out to that 23-year-old, who lost her life this morning at 3:45. It looks like Henry Ruggs was out in Las Vegas, speeding at a high rate. Ended up hitting a Toyota RAV4, which the female victim was in, and instantly trafficking the car. That led to her demise. Everyone here, we like to send our thoughts and prayers out to the family. We understand that it's a rough time for you, and we're sorry for what happened. And as for Henry Ruggs, this is the start of a long road for him, because this might be the end of his career. It was something that was coming into light this year. He was coming into his own, and one fatal mistake. There's not any irony behind that, but one fatal mistake, and that's it. This could be the end of his career, and I think he has more things to worry about than his career right now. There's a lot of repentance he needs to have, especially to that family.
Yeah, definitely. Because like you said, she's way too young, and it's just a very, very tragic situation. And it's just really sad, because not only does he have obviously the financial resources to have found a safer way home, but the NFL teams, I'm pretty sure they all offer resources to players if they find themselves in a similar situation where they have had too much to drink and they are not able to operate a motor vehicle, that they can reach out and they can get services to get safely home. So it's just really it's a damn shame that he's just not only ruined his career, but he's taken someone's life. So, and he's got to live with that now. Like AK said pre-show, he's got to live with that now, and that's something that's even worse than any prison time could ever do, because he's got to live with that for every breath that he takes for the rest of his life on this earth. He's got that in the back of his head that he knows that he killed somebody because of a stupid ass mistake that he made, and it's just, it's a damn shame. And I was really, really sad to hear that. It's really, really, those kind of situations are just, they're never easy to swallow. And it's just like you said. Shout out to the family of the fallen, because way too young. Definitely very sad.
Yeah, and for this should be a lesson to everyone. Whether you're in high school, college, right now, take this as a lesson. When you're in a certain position, like the way Henry Ruggs is, where your career depends on things that happen off the field, you got to be smarter with your moves, especially when you're dealing with drinking. We're in a time now where we have Ubers, you have Lyft, you have avenues to get a ride home. There's no need for you to be driving, especially behind a high-powered vehicle like he had and being drunk. There's no need for that. You got to be smart, because, like we just said right now, you just ruined the lives of a whole family. You took a life, and now you're earning the way you make your living. That could be taken away from you right now too. And again, you still got to deal with the legal process that hasn't even started yet.
Yeah, and the one thing I want to point out too is lesson learned here for everyone as well. Just because we make you feel invincible, you're not.
Yeah.
You have to realize something. I understand these guys are pure athletes. They're not built like normal people. They can take a shitload of punishment and they can give out a shit ton. And we take advantage of that, and we take that for granted. And we make them feel invincible because we love them that much and we adore them that much. But you're not. So just know that. And remember.
Yeah, and it might sound cliche to say, but it's honest. Like, when you drink, please drink responsibly, because you have the lives of everyone that's out there that that's on the road. They're in your hands, whether you know it or not. So you take that chance every time. You don't have to anymore. Give the keys off to someone else. Catch a ride. Call someone.
Shit,
but just don't drive drunk. It's. I think it's kind of crazy that in this day and age that we're still saying that. Like, people should get the hint now. When you're drinking and you feel like a little buzzed, a little inebriated, hey, call it a night. Get someone else to get you home. That's it.
Well, bro, it's Vegas. Like, call an Uber or a taxi. My God, that's like two of the biggest things in Vegas.
Or not even that. Whatever you're at, go to a hotel, stay for the night. It ain't like you can't afford it.
Exactly.
Well, and that's what I said.
Even if you can't, find a park bench, sleep on that goddamn thing until you're sobered up and you can drive yourself home. If you can't find any other way home, then that's what you got to do. If you barely get any sleep, then well, that's a situation that you put yourself in. But you should never, ever drink and drive like that. That's just, that's so irresponsible and just so stupid. And just
handle your liquor. Like, handle your liquor. Like, it's not a game. It doesn't matter like who's the drunkest, like how you feel your butt. Like, just handle your liquor. Grow up.
Yeah, and it's like I said in the back. Like, I actually respect what he did beforehand. Like, he was drinking at a private golf course, where you needed a membership to get in. Like, he wasn't at a nightclub, he wasn't at a strip club, Like, I respect that. You're being mature about it. You're actually whining and dining at a fucking golf course. That's okay. That's a weird place to drink, but hey, it's cool. Your mistake came after you got drunk. That's where you fucked up. You did great up till that point. But yeah,
especially when it probably doesn't, take anything to walk up to the front desk and just ask for a ride, because I'm pretty sure they take care of that for you.
Yeah. Exactly.
And Vic, you said, just to fill Philly girl in _76. You said it was a 23-year-old female, right? That lost her life.
Yeah.
And the result
23-year-old female
of Henry Ruggs driving drunk in Vegas. Was it? It was Sunday night, Monday morning, right?
It was just this morning, 3 a.m., 3:45 in the morning, and also it was Henry Ruggs' girlfriend, who's also seriously injured. Also, that's another thing that hasn't been said. His girlfriend was in the car with him. She was injured. It seems like Ruggs wasn't really that injured. He was able to walk away. He was able to get a citation. So it's his girlfriend and the female driver, who I don't think they released her name, of course, for obvious reasons.
Yeah, and they have they have some pretty harsh penalties in Reno, in Nevada, in the state of Nevada. So definitely he's facing 2 to 20 years, like BLSG is saying, and he could possibly receive the death penalty. But that I'm sure he's gonna have very, very good attorneys with all the money that he has. So obviously he didn't um, he didn't he didn't do the right thing, and he's gonna have to pay for that, like we've been saying, for the rest of his life.
And I don't know if this is true, but if I'm not mistaken, I heard that the Raiders, the team themselves, they have a curfew. So that would have been a violation from the get-go.
They what?
They have a team curfew. Even when they're at home, they have a team curfew.
I don't know. I can't speak on that.
Yeah, but even though, it's just sad. It's a sad event. It's tragic.
Yeah, it is. It is definitely, and thanks everybody for all the comments. Definitely, where was that? It was a good transition out of this. Definitely, Papa Sora was in the building. He said, "Can I get a motherfucking wagyu? Wagyu!" Definitely, we appreciate you guys being here. Definitely, so there was a couple of good, pretty big trades that took place. The Rams got better, definitely, especially on the defensive side of the ball. They received Von Miller from the Denver Broncos. So, what do you guys think about that? That's making the Rams, especially with him and Aaron Donald now. That's going to be a pretty scary combination.
Yeah, news came out, yesterday. Von Miller gets traded around, what was it, around 1 o'clock. It was a surprise to him. At the time, he was doing a vlog. I think it was actually for the Broncos, if I'm not mistaken. And, they told him, they brought him into the president's office, had a quick conversation, and let him know, the Rams are doing everything. They're putting all their eggs in their basket because they're looking for a Super Bowl win this year. So they're going after Von Miller. And, he was surprised. He was kind of shocked, a little hurt, because that's the team that traded for us, that drafted for him, and that's all he's known, and he has a good connection with that community. He's probably the biggest name out there in Denver. So this move was a shock to a lot of people. His best friend was Brandon McManus, who went on Twitter, and he's been reeling. So it's a big shock. It's a big hit to the Broncos team. The organization had to do what they had to do to move on. I think they got a second and a third round draft pick, and it just bolstered up the Rams' defensive depth chart. Because good grief, like you said, you got Von Miller now, you got Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey. That they're all in it. They're in for it right now. They want to win the Super Bowl, and it shows.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it definitely does. AK, what was your thoughts on that?
all I can say is no more excuses.
For who? For Vaughn or for the Rams defense?
For the Rams. I mean, go get it now. You supposedly got your quarterback you needed. Now you got a good linebacker in Von Miller. You got Aaron Donald. Should be no issue now. Go get it.
Yeah, because I mean they still got a pretty good secondary, with Jalen Ramsey and the guys. So they definitely have a good core still intact in LA with the Rams there. So yeah, they definitely have to kind of seize the day. They're definitely going to have to fight their way to get into the playoffs. We'll see how the Arizona Cardinals, how they are affected after the loss to the Packers. See how they kind of bounce back from that, or if they kind of let that linger and the Rams are able to maybe move into first place at some point. But yeah, it's going to be interesting with that division, definitely, because someone's getting one of the wild cards is definitely coming out of that out of the NFC West. That's for sure. But yeah, I mean, another pretty big move was the Chiefs acquired defensive end outside linebacker Melvin Ingram from the Steelers in exchange for a 2022 6th-round pick. I thought that was a pretty good move for the Chiefs. They definitely are lacking, some pass rush, so that's definitely going to help them on the defensive side of the ball. Vic, what did you think?
That surprised me.
Go ahead, AK. Yeah.
Well, no, I was just going to say that surprised me because, Pittsburgh has a pretty solid defense. So getting rid of Melvin kind of surprised me because he was the fill-in for Bud Dupree. And so I don't know. We'll see how that turns out. But, yeah, that was more of a shocker to me. I didn't see that one coming at all. But, hey, nice heads up on KC for sure.
Yeah. We got Birdman. What's going on? How you doing?
I was going to say, if you watched last night's game, you seen that Kansas City defense needed some help. So, this morning, they went out and they got to work. They got a quality player. As for the Steelers, you can see that they're in a buy now mode. I think that they're going to move on. Not that they're going to move on from Roethlisberger. I think they might keep him for another year, but I think they're going to go after a rookie quarterback this year in the draft. I think they want Roethlisberger to have one more year to mentor. I think they're making all the moves, in order to get up. I'm trying to think, who else was it? Denver. Denver's another team out there that, they're acquiring picks left and right. They're also a team that's going to want to move up. So that first pick in this year's draft, there's going to be a lot of viable options. There's going to be a lot of teams vying for it. We might be one of them also. Us playing with 3 first-round draft picks, we may want to, get a play at Thibodeau. You never know.
It's true. Definitely. You never know. Because, the NFL is a crazy world at times. Sometimes it throws you curveballs, that's for sure. And the today was what was I gonna say? Was looking at the other trades that were made. Nothing else really jumps off the table.
Oh, there's one that jumps out for us.
Well, of course, yeah. I was gonna transitioning definitely to more to Eagles talk now. Definitely, we received cornerback Kerry Vincent Jr. for a 6th-round pick next year in 2022. And what are your guys' thoughts on him? He's not super big kid. He was I think he was a 7th-round pick by the Broncos this past draft. So, Vic, give me your thoughts on this kid that we just picked up today, Kerry Vincent.
Kerry Lamont Vincent. Let's get the full government out there for everyone to know. But yeah, man, 7th pick, 237. He's about 5'10", only 185. Good corner. Listen, I think the Eagles this draft, they made a lot of mistakes when they didn't go after the defensive side of the ball, and I think they're recovering from that. So they went out and they got this kid who never played yet in the NFL. Has not played. He's on the 53-man roster, but has not touched the NFL field yet in a regular season game. So we're gonna get a look at him, and he's played a lot of nickel, safety. He's been all around. He's versatile. I think it's a good move. Again, we're going after young cornerbacks. We're not trying to get anyone experienced. I think we're trying to build with the corners that we have, the young roster. I said it before. I think we're moving off of Darius Slay, and these moves by getting Tay Gowan. Now, if you get Vincent, I think this is pointing to the direction that maybe this offseason we may move on from Slay.
Oh yeah, I mean we're definitely going to have some corner depth because not only that, but we definitely we only have Steven Nelson on contract for 1 year, so he's going to be a free agent come next offseason. So there's definitely going to be
slouch, though. Yeah, he's no slouch. He was on the LSU track team, 2018, 2019. They ended up winning the national championship. He ran a 4.33 at his pro day. He got speed. He was a LSU. Like I said, when you're coming from that defense and they're using you as a jack of all trades, that's a good thing. We got one of the linebackers out there, but we'll see what he can do with this Eagles team. We'll see where they put him too, because again, like I said, he's played safety, so we don't know if they leave him at the safety position.
Yeah. AK, will you have some thoughts on this kid that we just picked up today, Kerry Vincent Jr.? Or I should say, Kerry Lamont Vincent Jr.
Yeah, I mean, he could be a valuable piece or he couldn't. You know, it all depends on how they develop him and how they use him. You know, I said it last week or the week before. I believe next year this defense is going to be the youngest part of the whole team. You know, it's going to be all revamped. You'll probably see Gowan, Vincent, and McPherson as your three. You know, I don't know. We might keep Maddox. It just all depends. Um, you know, but I believe that these coaches are going to start doing their own thing here soon. You know, because you have to remember these players were not drafted by them. You know, so they're going to want their own people in. So it just all depends on what they want and the style that they want. So we'll see. I believe this was a Gannon choice. You know, obviously he had something to do with it. I believe. You know, so I don't know, man. Could be a good thing. We'll find out.
Yeah, and we're definitely we're stockpiling corners right now, so that makes me wonder if Howie's plan right now, if he is the GM come next April, is to focus his attention elsewhere. You know, if that's why we're stockpiling these guys right now, because you know we obviously drafted McPherson this year, and now we've gotten not only Tay Gowan, who we are all very excited about. I know that's a fact because I think we got a gem in him, and I can't wait to see him on the field for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Right.
I'm very, very excited to see that name, to see him
Same.
out there because he's going to ball out. Watch, he's going to ball out, and we're going to be saying that name for quite a while. I think years to come. I really do. I'm very confident in the kid, and I'm excited about this kid that we got today. You know, because we didn't have to spend much to get him, and if there's some coaches out there that can coach him up, we definitely have some of them. So let's get him in, get him some work, and like these guys have been saying in the chat, you know, he needs work, but we're a good place to get it right now. You know, we're doing some good things with our DBs, and yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for our cornerback room right now because these kids can come in and they can learn from Slay, they can learn from Nelson, they can learn from guys like Anthony McLeod. You know, some good veterans back there. So yeah, we got a good mixture right now, and things are looking up for our secondary, for our for our pass defense right now. It's our run defense that we got to definitely start shoring up more. You know, it's weird because in past seasons we've had really good run defense and shitty secondary. You know, shitty pass defense. So we got to kind of even it out, even that talent level out. We got to start focusing on that linebacker position more. And hey, if that's what it takes, if it takes Eric Wilson to be benched, you know, and get some other guys some playing time, then so be it. Because they played a lot better against the Lions. Yeah, I get it. It was the winless Lions, but those guys played very, very well, and they should be proud of themselves because yes, the Lions are winless, but they've been playing everybody outside of the Bengals pretty damn competitively, but they did not us. I mean we took it to them. We shut them down offensively. They didn't score any points until late in the fourth quarter. So what's your guys' thoughts on this on not only the game this past weekend, but just the situation of this team right now? We have to answer Philly Fuego's question. He wants to he has a question for us. You know, he wants to know what's the what's the identity of this football team right now? What going forward? What's the identity of this football team? So we got to
Well,
address that as well. AK, what do you think?
first, the identity is still up in the air for me. I mean, I want to see still this week. I mean, if he comes out and he continues to run the ball like he did this previous week, then, you know, I will be happy because I was ecstatic to see last weekend. You know, just having over 200 yards on the ground. Like that just tickled me pink. It really did. And I won't lie, I love seeing it. Now I did scratch my head a little bit why we didn't use Gainwell at all. That kind of confused me a little bit. But hey, I love the Jordan Howard thing. That was awesome. An actual power back like that. Like, hey, we've been missing that. We really have. So, it's like I told you. These guys have to learn from their mistakes. They got to grow. We have to be patient. And so far from just last week, I'll say they're growing. He's learning from his mistakes, but I have to see it again this coming week. If you come out here and you can go back to the same stupid shit you've been doing the first 7 weeks, then I'm not going to sit here and say you learned anything. You just got lucky one game and that's what you chose to do. And then now you're just doing whatever the fuck you were doing before. But if he continues to run the ball and he beats the Chargers and, blah, 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 then hey, what do you want? That's awesome. But it's one game, man. I can't put all my eggs in one basket just yet.
Yeah, I know what you mean, Vic. What do you think?
Yeah, the identity is still to be determined, and even with these games coming up, we're still not going to know the identity because when we look at the situation we're in, Sirianni's kind of backed into a corner. He lost his star running back. His quarterback wasn't doing so well. Things had to get changed, switched up. Now he has 3 running backs that he has to feed the ball. And like AK was mentioning, he didn't know why Gainwell wasn't playing so much. I think it's because Sirianni in the beginning of the season was forcing so much on Gainwell, the same way he does to Devante Smith, and realizes Gainwell isn't really that good at running the ball right now. He's a great receiving threat, but he fumbles the ball. He makes some bad decisions. That's the reason why. And then when you look at it, you have Boston Scott and you have Howard back there. They're experienced. Scott's a physical back. Excuse me, Scott. Howard is a physical back. Scott can get physical also, but he's a shifty guy. He can get in between the tackles. Gainwell's not at their level yet. So, like I even said earlier, if you look at my tweets, I wanted it to be a heavy dose of Scott and Howard, and you sprinkle in Gainwell, and that's exactly what Sirianni did. I'm so happy that he did it because it ended up working out. You don't need to have Gainwell be your feature back right now. It's going to take a lot of time for him. He's still raw. He got a lot to learn. So you sprinkle him in as the year goes, and you can use him more, as the season progresses because he'll gain some experience, and that's how they should have went from the beginning. And that's how they're going to have to go now. So it's kind of like Sirianni is forced at the moment to do the right thing. Hopefully, he learns from this, and next season he takes that and he carries that on. If he's here, we still don't know that, but I say he will be here. So hopefully he carries that on to next season, and he learns from it. But one mistake I think we made this year was in the trade deadline. We should have went after Zach Cunningham. It wouldn't have taken much. You know what I mean? Like even if you use a 3rd or a 4th round pick, you're going to try to tell me that there's a 3rd or a 4th round pick out there that's better than him? I highly doubt it. I think they slept on that. The Texans were ready to give up on him. They were ready to move him. And I'm pretty sure for a 4th, they would have happily moved on. Yeah, I'm glad what we got now, but I think we could have done better, especially at the linebacker position. We're lacking right now. If we would have had Zach Cunningham on this team, it would instantly bolster our linebacking core. Our defense would instantly be better. They don't. I don't know what the thought process in there, why they continue to ignore the linebacking position, but it got to stop. It has to stop.
Facts, big facts, definitely, because you've seen it. You've seen it this year. We've seen teams time and time again just to continue to attack our linebacking core, whether it's just running the ball down our throats, or it's attacking the middle of the field with their tight ends or with their slot receiver, things like that. But I'm surprised. Like Backyard Birds podcast here, he said, I'm surprised Jacoby hasn't played yet. Big time. Me too. That's a great comment because what did we draft him for? And I know he's got to be 100% healthy now. So why is he not on this active roster right now, getting some playing time with this football team? Because I know his young self can contribute on special teams if need be as well. So I think he's missing some key opportunities to get some good playing experience this season. What do you guys think about Jacoby Stevens? You guys think we're going to see him this year? Vic?
I hope it's not like he has like a 1st round or a 3rd or a 2nd round draft pick ahead of him. I think TJ Edwards out of all one of the linebacker core was the highest draft pick, and TJ Edwards isn't anyone to hold anyone back for. I don't understand. It could be also what Stevens is showing you in practice. That could be another thing too. The reason why he isn't starting or he's even on the field. But whatever it is, we need all the help we can get. Let's switch it up. Let's get some different looks out there because what we have right now really isn't working. Alex Singleton is just a walking doormat. He I think he leads the league the team in tackles, but that's because he's constantly getting barreled down. You know what I mean? Like he's our bumper on that field right now. He's the bumbling one that gets in the way of a big run. He doesn't go out there to tackle someone. He just gets in the way of things.
Yeah.
So like I said, anything would help. Anything would help. You got to check out the different looks you have. You can't just think that whatever you see in practice will be on the field because sometimes players don't practice as well as they play on the field. That's something that's known. You got to give guys a chance. And right now, I don't think anyone should be held back on that linebacking core. Everyone should be getting a chance right now.
Yeah. And Alex Singleton, somebody should get him a shirt that says welcome across his chest. Seriously.
He seems like one of those guys that are just happy to be in the league. You know what I mean? Like that's his goal. Being in the league was his goal. He doesn't care if he's done tomorrow. Like that's how I feel he plays.
Kind of like I've heard, that's funny you said that because I think you're pretty correct about that. And I've shout out to AK because I've heard AK say that I've heard you say that about Andre Dillard, about Andre Dillard just being comfortable, being satisfied with making the NFL, and that's why he's kind of plateaued and really hasn't progressed in his career so far. So, I think you definitely have a good point there, Vic. Yeah. AK, what do you think about Jacoby Stevens? You think you think he should be playing right now? You think we're going to see him this year?
No, I agree with Vic, man. I believe the door's open for everyone. Listen, this is a transition year. We want success, and we should have it. We have a pretty solid team, even though we do have some spots. Sorry, my back's itchy.
We're good.
Even though we do have some spots on here that are questionable. Starting with our linebacker core for sure. For the most part, our team's pretty solid. I like what we have, especially as building blocks. But it is a transition period for next year as well. Like I said, a lot of these players, this coaching staff did not draft. They didn't have hands in it. They're just kind of putting the pieces together and building their own thing and, trying to make it all work in the process. But yeah, no, the door is open widely because, the only thing I can say is just hope they keep playing terrible because that's the only way we're going to get help there. Because if that's the weakest part on our team, well, then that's the part they're going to address. And God hope that they do because if you don't address the weakest part on this team, you're going to have a lot of pissed off individuals.
Yeah, we have to. I believe we have to take a linebacker in the first round. I just think that's a must this year.
First two, usually.
I don't know if the first round is necessary, but I think, second, third, get a quality linebacker. It doesn't matter what round you get, as long as it's a quality linebacker. What was it? Buster Davis, I want to say, or Jamie Davis, excuse me, Jamon Davis. He was the 5th round draft pick. I understand that, Washington isn't doing so good right now. But, that's a decent linebacker right now. That's someone that could have been on our team. It would have been no issue. Again, I don't understand what's the need to ignore the linebacking position.
Yeah.
There isn't. No, it's got to stop, like you said earlier. And let's welcome in our West Coast Philadelphia Eagles brethren, Birdman _951's in the building. What's going on, my guy?
What's up, man? How you guys doing tonight?
Good, my guy. How you doing?
A few moments later.
Sorry taking so long. They called me. I was on my way to work, and they said, "Hey, there's no work." So I was like, I had to do a U-turn on the freeway.
Oh,
but
that's a good day.
Yeah, this is a crazy day, man. Crazy day. If you're a Raider fan, shout out to the homie LV King Raider. He's not doing too well because, at the end of the day, guys, if this was one of our players, Fletcher or Jalen Hurts, Devante that did something like what Ruggs did today, we definitely be feeling it today, because it's very disappointing for, because at the end of the day, we do care about these guys. We give them a hard time, because we want them to perform better and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, we're humans, and for stuff to go down like that, it's upsetting, even for the NFL wise. It's a bad look on the NFL, especially that there's a death. And it's just, it's kind of a weird day, like it's kind of a, I didn't know what to expect. I thought Fletch was going to be on the way out. I don't think the numbers made sense for the other teams. And I think that's why Fletch is still here. Is he going to be here next year? To be determined. But I'm not really so worried about like stuff like that. I'm more concerned about Howie Roseman, and I'm very concerned with Nick Sirianni, because what the hell was that what kind of game plan was that you called against Detroit? Like, are you trying to screw with the fans? Because you're not making any sense to us at this point, because had you done something similar to that kind of game plan, we probably have 2 or 3 more wins, guys. So it's it pisses me off. I'm not mad. I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah, we won. But what I'm mad about is that why did it take this long to kind of figure out the balance we need with Jalen? Because we're supposed to be making this guy, when it's time to throw the ball, when we dial up the play for it, let it come naturally to him. Why did we force him and force him and force him and force him to throw it so damn much? And it's just beyond me that we're sitting here today. I mean, guys, let's face it. If we dial up something similar to what we dialed up with Detroit, we can beat the Chargers. The Chargers are having their troubles of their own. And a statement for me, Nick Sirianni, beat the Chargers. I don't care if it's by 1 or 10. Beat them at home, because the Eagle fans have not had a home win. So you want us to start getting on that flower side and the flower power and all that fertilizing stuff. Get that win at home, and then we could start to grow from that. But I don't know what this coach is up to. I don't know if he was just kind of screwing with us, but that's kind of where I am with it,
I think that has a lot to do with their growth as coaches. Like coming out of Atlanta, like I said, those were 2 inexperienced coaches going at it. Especially with Atlanta, when you've seen how inexperienced their coaches were, because you've seen how bad Atlanta was. And you've seen right now with Atlanta, it has taken time, but they're starting to get things going as well. I think that's what it is with first-year coaches. We might not like it, but you got to give them some time. Now, I'm not saying that Nick Sirianni finally got everything right and he's going to go from here. I'm just saying, at least against Detroit, it looks like we got, things in the right direction. It looks like he finally understands, by running the ball, you can get things going. I mean, your team has more energy in the fourth quarter. They're more aggressive. You're the aggressor instead of being, the aggressee. I think he's finally getting that. And again, because of the situation he's in, he has no choice but to do that. So I think that's why you see a big difference in from the first week until now. And that's something we want to see, though. Let's be honest. We do want to see that. We want to see that growth. If we didn't, we'd be pissed right now.
Yeah.
But that's why I also said I can't say nothing yet. I have to see it next week.
Yeah.
For me to even go any further, to say, do I feel more comfortable? Well, no, that's 1 week, And it's funny that even Birdman brought that up, because Foothills messaged me during the game. He's like, "Are you seeing this? This looks awesome." I said, "Yeah, where the fuck was this the first 7 weeks?"
Right.
It's the very first thing I said, because it was like, dude, well, it's plain and simple what you got to do, but you're not doing it. And now that you're doing it, it's like, oh, that's great, but I need to see it more than 1 fucking week. I mean, because he could come out next week and go back to the same stupid shit he's been doing, and then I'll be like, well, I fell for it again. And I don't want to be that idiot.
Yeah, well, before last week, I was even saying, I was like, these next 3 games, they could be, really bad for us. Those could be 3 losses.
Yeah.
But now when you look at the situation, you see that the Chargers, Herbert isn't doing so well. There's some injuries on the team with Eckler. And then when you look at Denver, Denver just lost Von Miller. Denver is sellers. They haven't been playing so well either. And then when you look at New Orleans, they just lost Jameis Winston. They won't have Taysom Hill back, by the time we play them. So we might be facing Trevor Siemian. So all the teams that, I thought would be potential losses, it looks like that might go into our favor. Now, it all depends if our coach can do what he hasn't done this whole season. Take those teams' deficiencies and use them to our advantage. We kind of saw it with Detroit. I didn't fully see it because, again, Detroit's a bad team. That defense is horrible. You kind of saw it with the run game. Let's see if we can fully do it against the Chargers this coming week. Again, he has an opportunity to come out here with 3 wins. If he wins the next 3 games, a lot of those naysayers will be gone. They'll be quieted down. We'll be confused because we don't know what we have in this coach still, but we will be happy because what's the best thing to cure when you're upset is a win. Winning cures everything. Winning shuts up the haters. Winning shuts up the doubters.
Yeah.
Let me
Especially a
ask you
home
something,
win
Vic.
in Philadelphia. We're itching for a home win right now. We haven't gotten one this year. That would go very, very far with the fans right now, I think. Especially with the Chargers being a perennial playoff team this year. So, go ahead, Birdman. What were you going to say?
I'm gonna ask you. I can ask all 3 of you. Do you think that there's a possibility that Howie kind of let the coach?
I honestly don't think Howie has anything to do with the coaching and the plays and all that. I think Howie supplies the players, but they have a little directive. They just the owner Lori might want to see a passing offense, but that's because of the coach they got. So that's already taken care of. I don't think they're going to put that much input into the play calling.
This is where it's stemming from. So the word, the rumor, what I'm getting from is that.
Vic, you know what that's from? Sorry, Birdman.
Yeah, I saw it. That sounds like 2 sacks my ass.
No, he's referring to our bet that we got going because I didn't see that Derek Barnett had got a sack, and then I because I was out Sunday morning, we got up really early and went and saw my oldest. And shout out to Maddox, my oldest, my 18-year-old. She's doing great. She's working. She's been working her butt off full time, saving money like a madman. She's got some cheddar stacked up in the bank, living on her own, doing good things, and I'm really, really proud of him, definitely. So, it's definitely
yeah, man, that's something to be very happy about. Especially with parents, we always worry about our kids, and now that you've seen, your baby, let's be honest, that's your baby on their own doing their thing. You got to be happy about that. Congratulations to you.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Maddox. That's what's up. Shout out to Maddox.
Appreciate that. And that's I brought that up because I was out running around and I was listening to it on my phone or watching it on my phone. I seen that Milton Williams got a sack. So I had messaged Mike in a group chat and I was like, oh, Milton Williams got a sack because we got a pretty good sized bet going. We got a bet for a C note to see if Milton Williams has more sacks than Derek Barnett this year. So they are now tied because they both got one against the Lions. So that's why he's saying Derek Barnett 2 sacks coming.
Yeah, Philly, Mike, and myself have a bet also involves Derek Barnett. He needs to get 6 sacks on the season. If not, a C note comes my way.
Ooh, he might be putting out some cheddar because Milton Williams has been getting more playing time. So I'm excited. Every time I see him on the field.
Shout out to Philly Mike. Hey, let's try to get. Hey, Mike, what's up? Come join the panel, man. We love to have you on the show right now, even if it's for 10 minutes, man. We got a lot of questions for you.
That's the busiest man right now, doing his thing. That's the GOAT right there. Out of all the guys, I would say Mike's the OG. Mike's the number 1 guy.
He definitely is. He's one of the GOATs. Absolutely. Great. Not only Eagles content creator, but Sixers content creator as well. So does great coverage for both.
And down to earth guy, really cool guy. You know what I'm saying? That's the most important thing, man. He's a good dude.
Yeah. Did a live stream on my, came and jumped on a live stream on my channel with Vic and AK and a few other guys. I think Birdman was even in a little bit on that one too. It was like a 6-hour live stream. It was
Yeah, I
like,
said, wasn't it like 1 a.m. or something like that? We were all there. It was like a 6-hour, 5-hour stream.
that's got to be the longest one I've done so far, definitely. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And it
shout
was
out to
hilarious because like pretty much everyone was lit on that one.
said Philly Mike said if the defense didn't play well so far, our whole D line would be having more sacks. Yeah, I mean the fact that we're not
Blame that on Fletcher.
we actually started bringing some blitzes against the Lions too. You know, that's the thing we've been missing. You know,
Yeah.
I really feel because our linebackers they're not that great against the run, and they're not that great in the pass defense. So you might as well send them on some more blitzes and try to get something out of them while you can. You know, you just have to.
Yep. That's what I'm saying. This game slapped a lot of the Eagle fans in the face because we've been crying for this since the beginning of time here. That hey, I mean, what the hell is this? Like, so was that a joke? You know, it's like, what was that Detroit game where you guys just messing with our emotions, Smokey?
Right. Let me see here. Let me send Mike the link because I don't want to drop it for everybody quite yet. Because I like what we got going on right now. Let me drop it real quick on Twitter for him.
You got him on Twitter, right? Hit him up on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was listening to the GOAT talk, and they were basically saying, you know, they don't even know what's going to go in the draft as far as quarterbacks are. And the only one that I was kind of rumored to hear that Howie was all in on Matt Corral. Now, don't quote me on that, but that's the only thing that I've been hearing as far as like Howie feels that if he was able to grab Matt Corral, that's going to save his ass. But to be honest with you guys, I don't even want Howie to make any more damn decisions, man. I'm like so over it. And if he made another quarterback decision like that, barring that this guy is the next freaking Peyton Manning or something, I mean, I just don't see it. I don't think he's gonna hit gold just like that. You know, like this guy Matt Corral comes out of the ground, and he's supposed to be the the answer for the Eagles. I'm not so sold on it. I mean, I seen the guy's tape. He looks like he has a lot of promise, but it's not a household name that, you know, usually when you hear that college household name, you would have already heard it. But now,
yeah, but Joe Burrow wasn't a household name. No one knew him. He only had one good season at LSU. I thought he was basically, what was he, 5th in the depth chart at Ohio State? No one even heard about him. Usually happens that way. You know, guys come out there last year. That's when you hear about them. But I will say this about the quarterbacks, though. Willis is steadily climbing. That kid is ridiculous. Like, his running's one thing, but the flick of the wrist that goes like 60 yards downfield, damn. But my thing is, I can't tell if that's the receivers or that's him because they have incredible receivers also.
If I had to ask you guys right now, is Devante just not having a great season, or is it more so on Jalen?
I think we're putting too much on both on Devante. Jalen, of course, because, you know, this is his prove it year, but I think we're putting too much on Devante. We're expecting him to be Jamar Chase.
No.
Before we go any further on that, we got a goat backstage, so I don't want him to wait too long. I want to bring him on as soon as we can because I want him to jump in on this because I know he's definitely got something to say on this one. So without further ado, let's welcome in Philly Mike of the Philly Talk Podcast. What's going on, my guy? Appreciate you being here. Thank you for joining us so much, my guy.
With all the sound effects, you got it going on. I don't know how to work them on StreamYard. I don't know how to do it. I'm going to do it on my OBS.
Hey, thank you for joining us. I really appreciate it. Jumping in with us. And Birdman, what were you saying? I'm sorry.
Like, okay, so let me give you an example. Okay, so CeeDee Lamb's first rookie year, you know, what you saw out of it was promise, right? And that's kind of why Eagle fans were kind of pissed that we didn't go grab him. You know, he's only one more up. We could have done it. But the thing is, the promise was there, and you could see it translate to the second year because they're probably like CeeDee's like their number one right now. Now, is it more that Jalen is not so great, or is it Devante the one that's not so great right now? Or is it both? Could it be both, or are just not that great right now?
It
Philly,
could be both. Again, we're talking about a rookie.
I,
Talking
I,
about a rookie in
I
Smith.
can't. I'm not going to give him the rookie pass because it's about the promise. When you get the rock, you got to get the rock. I'm not
But
asking
we've
for the.
seen him. We've seen Smith do good things. We've seen Smith break, cornerbacks that are still looking for him at this moment.
But
You know
is
what I'm saying?
that
We've seen his route running.
is that enough for you to believe that this guy is the number one receiver of the Eagles' future right now?
I don't think they should have given him the number one receiver, just off the rip. He should have, played for it, but it is what it is. We got to wait and see because, again, we're only
Who's
looking at 9
challenging him?
games.
Who's challenging him? I mean, we don't got nobody to challenge him. A CD Lamb got
I would say Quez Watkins might, but we didn't give him a chance.
correct. CD was able to go into a situation where they had Gallup, who was a formidable 2, right? He's a 2 on the Cowboys, probably a 1 on the Eagles, and then Amari Cooper, who, as long as he's at home and he's healthy, he's going to be a baller. Devante definitely had to come in as a rookie and take all the first snaps. I'm talking about training camp, right? They line you up in what order you're going, that order the coach and staff believes you're going to be 1, 2, and 3. He's been the dog since he got here. However, you can't deny that watching all 22s, Jalen, we're not trusting and anticipating throws is leaving some meat on the bone for Devontae Smith. That is just facts. In the same way, I need Jalen Hurts to grow there. I do need when Devontae gets his hands on the ball to catch it because he has had a case of the dropsies. Whether it's behind him or not, a guy like Devontae Smith is able to should be able to make tough catches. Now, this is an NFL level. You're not going to get separation as you did over there in Bama, even though he's been getting a decent amount of separation. But, with Jalen Hurts, panic button, scrambling to the left, everything to the right is null void. Scrambling to the right, everything left is null void. He has to do a better job in that. So I think, no doubt about it, if you had more of a pocket pass or this and the third, Devontae would be better, as well as, receivers that played with Lamar Jackson in the beginning of his career, right? It was like, why would I want to go there? I'm not going to get passes. So as an Eagle organization, you just want to come out with a dub. You want to get growth from everybody. But having some drops and now possibly going into, say we do start implementing the run as heavy as we did against the Lions, it's going to limit the growth of a Devontae Smith. You know what I mean? Now when called upon, is he going to be thinking, well, I've been dropping a lot more this, that, and the third. Receivers need to get easy catches too, just like the ball going in a hoop for a free throw, just to get their rhythm going. So I just think that, timing, growth, all that got to come in. Jalen got to be better, but it's a wait and see. I just don't see, as y'all were talking about quarterbacks, and I'm just slowly starting to do my research because I'm not a college watcher. For the simple fact, I watch the Eagles, I watch the rest of the NFL, I gamble, and my spare time goes to 2 things: content and the family. So I can't watch on Saturdays. I gotta, do stuff with the family on Saturdays. But I will start to dig deep into it, and unless you can say this quarterback is the guy, don't do it.
Yeah, and that was like the rumors I'm getting, is that Howie thinks that this Matt Corral is gonna be the dude, and with where we're picking, he'll be right there for the taking. But I don't know if I want Howie making any more decisions in the draft, man. I'm kind of done with it, man, and I want to see how the season plays out. I feel that the Detroit game was kind of like a slap in the face to the Eagle fans because that game to me was kind of like, duh. We could have told you that, and we're probably looking at least 2 more wins right now added to what we have, and we be in a little bit better situation. But the fact that they're waiting so long, and you did that to us, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way, man. So. I mean, I'm happy we got the dub, but I'm not happy that you waited this long and you just leave Jordan Howard sitting there looking pretty on the sideline. And not just that, you let Miles Sanders sit there looking pretty on the sideline. Like, you literally were having him plant flowers on the side. You literally did what you said. He was planting fertilizer on the sideline the whole season. And then when you finally use him against the Raiders, which I saw live, he gets injured, man.
Hey, but Miles wasn't upset because we all know he texted Coach Sirianni after the game saying, saying he was glad that he ran the ball. So, what I'm saying? Miles is in the loop. You know what I'm saying? Miles likes what's going on, so he can't be that upset.
I just want to say this though. Yeah. So hopefully he's thinking when he gets back, it continues and it doesn't go back. Right. It's going to be an interesting subject when Miles gets back. What happens with Jordan? Does it happen to Boston? What happens with Kenny? Because Kenny was getting used just as much as Miles in the beginning of the season. That kind of shifted. But to everybody's point, right? We ran the ball, and I know a lot of people are talking about Jalen only throwing the ball 14 times. You also got to take into account that we blew him out, and he sat the rest of the game, right? So even if we implement a heavy run scheme, Jalen Hurts in a heavy run scheme with a competent team on the opposite side that, okay, we're scoring via run, but they're scoring back on us. We're going to have to throw the ball between 22 to 27 times, right? So that's where you want him to be, right? If you can get Jalen Hurts throwing the ball 20 to 27 times and then rushing the ball between 23 to 29 times or 30 times, including Jalen's rushes, you're right where you need to be. And then you just hope that he makes progress and get the ball to the right guys. They're going to be easier throw, more high efficient throws, and hopefully he sees the field better each week. But, the all-22 is definitely – Jalen's missing throws. But the fact of the matter is every single quarterback misses something. You can't watch an all-22 on any quarterback and say, oh, look at that. Because at the end of the day, if a first read is open and it looks good, they might go there and not even go to the next read where that one streaking down the sidelines open. It's just that Jalen is missing a little bit more. And so that's where he has to clean up. But every single day, all the Twitter pictures and all that get pointed out, look what Jalen's missing. Jalen Hurts is seeing that and saying, damn it, I got to be better. But if he keeps saying I got to be better and it never gets better, then we got to eventually do something, right? Because
Mike, let me ask you something real quick, Mike.
If the rent's coming, they keep getting not paid, then you got to get evicted at some point, right?
And I guarantee you Jalen sees it because I at him on everything I put down.
Hey, you know what's a trip, Mike? So check this out. Our coach, okay, so we're blowing him out and this and that. So I think, why don't you take a couple shots with Jalen for shits and giggles? Yeah, if it don't work, it don't work. Why does this man wait when we're getting shellacked ourselves, and then you wait to the fourth damn quarter, and then you're gonna go ahead, Jalen, let's do something that don't make no sense to me. You don't do it when we get shellacked. You should, when we're shellacking the other team, why don't you go ahead and throw some deep stuff? Not when we're getting our ass handed to us. That don't make sense to me.
We do lead the league in garbage time stats. Like, that is a fact. We do.
But I'll say this though, I think we should use Jalen as a game manager because I think that suits him the best. You're taking pressure off him. You're running the ball most of the time. When he's less likely to make bad decisions doing that also. And he is a good game manager. And that's how you should use him. There's nothing wrong with being a good game manager.
AK, what's your thoughts on Jalen right now?
Man, I've said it from the get, and I'll stick with it. Jalen Hurts, we all knew when he came in, and everyone did, he was a project. He's not a finished quarterback. He never has been, and he's going to take some time. The same with Lamar Jackson, the same with Russell Wilson. It took 2 or 3 years. You got to be patient with them. The fact is, do you have the patience to do it? And it's like Mike said earlier, unless you can definitively say that this guy is the guy, you don't pull that trigger because there's features to Jalen's game that most quarterbacks don't have, and that's his legs. And that there's things he can do that people can't, and he's displayed it. And he's too dynamic of a playmaker to give up on if you're not certain. Because
let me ask you something, AK. What you said right there. Okay, this goes back to Howie Roseman. You don't get a project to fix a project. You got Nick Sirianni to make him a puppet for a project, and he's a project himself. Even in his press conference, he don't know what he's saying. I know we're making jokes about the flowers everywhere and all that.
That's
stuff.
my song now. I'm rocking with that until we lose, bro.
But that's all we got. That's all we got right now. That's all we're trying to hope that somehow, some way, that this flower power mixes, because that's all we have right now. But
Listen, I know what kind of flower he's growing, by the way. I know he
No,
took a
no,
little bit
It's that
before that
West
press
Coast
conference,
flower.
too.
It's the West
Nick's
Coast
not,
flower.
no, Costariani's out here moving some good weight. He got the good.
Got this-
I
He's talking about
understand
that
what
good fertilizer. You know what I mean? He knows the temperatures. You can't tell me he's not.
I understand what you're saying, man. Like I do, and you know, in my mind too, I worry about that. I don't want Howie picking these first three. You know, I don't. But in the end, we have no say in that. We kind of have to ride the waves. But you know, the one thing I will say is the only thing that keeps me hope is Jalen was a Howie pick, was he not?
Hmm.
Well,
Right.
we've all seen Howie picks tend to be safe, correct? So
JJ
maybe
Arcega-Whiteside.
maybe that's the only hope that I have going into this offseason is because Hurts is a Howie pick, that he gives him another year and we don't have to worry about it and we can move forward with what we have. And you know, consistency is the key to winning, correct? Well, hopefully we can do that. But that's the only hope I have is because Hurts is a Howie pick, he's safe another year. As long as he does not fuck up and go completely insane, I don't see why he's on the eviction notice just yet.
Yeah.
And then the other thing too, guys, you got to think about it. There's going to be a lot of teams need a lot of quarterbacks. Okay, so it's rumored Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson, and all that. So I don't see how Howie's not in the sweepstakes of all that. And I know he'd be licking his chops for a Russell Wilson, but there is a but. We will lose those draft picks, and I don't know having that superstar, paying him all that money and all that, what that means for this team. So it's this is going to be the most craziest offseason of Philadelphia Eagles history. I think so.
I honestly
know
don't think that we're going to go after any of those quarterbacks.
question.
Not Wilson, not Rodgers, not any of them. Because I honestly feel that, like I said before, it's either be Wilson or Rodgers. I lean more towards Rodgers going to New Orleans. And you got Cleveland as another spot because Baker Mayfield is done for. That team is ready to move now, and everyone's seeing what the Rams are doing. Yeah, they're going to make a move in the offseason for a veteran quarterback. It ain't going to be us.
Yeah, it'll be hard for one of these guys to go to a team that is rebuilding, right? And they and 2 of the 3 got trade clause, so it's like you can't trade them until they say yes. But real quick, yeah, I mean, when it comes to the quarterback position, especially via the draft, as I said and AK elaborated, you have to be 100% sure that guy's good. And even if you're saying, you know, I'm not sure, I don't think Jalen Hurts will ever be the guy. Well, then you draft a defense, you still keep working with your skill players, and he's what you call a bridge quarterback. And if he's not that good, then you maybe use a Minshew as a bridge quarterback because that is a thing. But you can't invest the picks unless you're sure. You know, you can't invest the picks because listen, we got the second overall pick right now because Miami's not winning, right? Say Miami wins 3 games in a row. We don't know what's gonna futures. We think we can go. They go on a 3-game winning streak, right? The Jets go on a 3-game losing streak. The Jags. Now we look at it 4 or 5 weeks, 3 to 5 weeks from now. And Miami's sitting at the 5th overall pick, right? And say we won a couple games, so our pick looks a little bit better. And Carson Wentz is winning games over there, and so now instead of having 2, 8, and 9, we have 5, 11, and 14, right? And maybe it goes back, maybe it doesn't. Now you're talking about okay, how we have to package 2 first-round picks to get up there in the top 3 and go get this Matt Corral, Golden Corral, whatever his name is, Corral, right? And then if he's not the guy, well, then we're in deep shit because you can't build a defense. You lose some stuff. We still got a lot of money to get free agents, but you have to sell free agents. You have to show that, first of all, you have to show that your coaching staff is up to par. You are at least a middle of the pack, getting better, trending the right way, or these guys ain't gonna come unless you overpay, right? Patriots stink. They knew they were gonna be either middle of the pack or stink a little bit, but why did Nelson Aguilar go over there? Because they overpaid for him, right? So you're gonna have to overpay for guys unless you are doing it right. So I think you're in a spot where I see, unless Jalen is just like, if he gets a lot worse than what we see, you might just gotta run with it. You know what I mean? We don't got many options unless you really do believe in one of these Golden Corral, Matt Corrals, whatever the names are.
I like Mike's plan of attack. I definitely do. I wanted to answer Too High Up's question, and shout out to the 8. We got 8 people in the live stream right now.
And he's at 25 pounds.
He said, does Devante need to gain 25 pounds, or is if not, he will be a bust. He gets manhandled all the time out there. What do you guys think about that? Definitely, I don't think he's going to be a bust, but what do you think? Do you think he needs to put on some weight?
You know how insane he looked with 25 pounds of muscle? That'd be ridiculous. He'd be slow as shit too. He wouldn't be able to run. He needs to add weight, yes, but that'll go throughout the season. That'll be every rookie does that. Through the first year throughout that first season, they bulk up and they get bigger because they're through NFL training regimen. They're not doing the college thing anymore. NFL, is more advanced. So as time goes on, yeah, you'll see him get bigger, but that doesn't happen overnight.
Hey, Mike. So by your plan, I'm gonna call it the Philly Mike plan. So we keeping Jalen for one more year.
If he can, if he doesn't get any
Hell
worse,
no.
No. If he can ride the ship out, okay, he rides it out. Middle of the pack, like you say. We keep Jalen for the following year. We use those draft pieces to say whatever linebacker, which we definitely have to go linebacker. I don't care what anybody says. But we add some pieces to the puzzle, and Jalen has sort of maybe a 7-8 win season next year. How do you propose? If Jalen's not the answer, how do we get that quarterback then? If we're going to be a little bit higher in the draft numbers, if we're going to how are we going to work?
We wait.
No, you trade one draft pick away for next season.
That's what we just talked about on Go Talk, right? We
You
talked
trade
about
one pick away.
we got 3 picks. Use 2 of them for defense. You give one of them away for a future first round pick, and then because it's all about a point system, so that you'll give your first round pick next year for the 2023 first and a third. Somebody will be willing to do that, right? And then hopefully you give it to the right person where they're falling. So now you got 2 great defensive players. Jalen is getting another year, right? And then you go into 2023 draft with your draft pick and hopefully somebody who's not that good draft pick, and then you're back in the saddle again.
You're giving up Miami's pick because you know that they're not going to play well this season. You're giving up that pick if that's the case. But just to touch a point on your little scenario before, if the Eagles would have, say, like the 5th, the 11th, I don't think at all that we should be moving up to use 2 picks for a quarterback. I think our main focus in this draft, because let's be honest, we're not going to get the first pick, so Thibodeau's out the question. It would be a blessing if we could land him, but he's out the question. Our number one focus should be Kyle Hamilton. That safety, that's what we need. We need to focus on him. However we need to do it, because you know what? He might be the 2nd or 3rd pick. So that's where we need to land, because guess what? That first round draft pick is going, and it's going for a high commodity. Because I said before, Denver's going to go after that. I forgot the other team. There's going to be a couple teams going for that first round draft pick. They're going to try to go for a quarterback, and they're going to try to get him early. So I think we need to move up, or hopefully, Miami gets us up to that 2nd spot. If they do, I think we're going to stay and keep that one. If they don't, we're going to move up to get it because we need Kyle Hamilton.
Well,
and if it goes sideways, if Jalen continues, if he gets benched or something for whatever reason, then we are probably going to go get a quarterback then.
But if you do, that's fine too, because you could use, like I said, you can still trade one of your first round draft picks to next season. You get yourself a defender. You get your quarterback with the 2nd first round pick. There's no reason, because again, you're still not paying Jalen any kind of money. They can compete, and either way, if whoever wins, you can trade the other. Because again, they're still on a rookie deal, so that you can move them easily.
Okay.
Well, and that's what, and honestly, man, I've been saying this for a couple weeks now. Like Jalen's only costing you $800,000. Okay, you have $50 million in cap this year in free agency. You go out and you spend that on your offense, whether that's offensive linemen, a couple receivers, tight end, halfback, whatever the hell you want, whatever direction you're going. And then you use the draft pick solely on defense. Maybe at the end, maybe grab 1 or 2 offensive linemen if you want to, but solely on defense. Build this team up. See what Jalen has, especially, like I said, if he doesn't do anything drastic, let him see what he's got. And then that way, when your team is built, and if you're still not winning, you know solely it's him, then you just plug in the quarterback that you want, and then hopefully you start winning. But your team's already built.
Yeah. Hey, and shout out to Joey Shake 72. We had another goat in the chat as well. He said everyone has a case of the drops or has had a case of the drops. Ertz goes to the Cardinals and used better out running defenses. The more you make Hurts throw, the more mistakes he's going to make. One game behind. We're right now one game behind for the wild card. And I agree with Joey a lot on that statement because I think right now our identity needs to be run first. I really think we just need to keep trying to run the ball as much as we can and get the ball out of Jalen Hurts and try to alleviate some of the pressure that we've put on him. I just think we've put way too much on his plate right now. Way too much.
If we could build on anything on that Detroit game, is I feel like he's getting a little bit more comfortable with Dallas Goedert. So if that's a thing, make that a thing for right now. Make that if that's where he's comfortable, because everybody needs their security blanket. If it's him in Dallas, it's him in Dallas for whatever reason right now. He has to stick that out. And it looked Dallas looked like he was very comfortable catching the ball and getting those yak yards. So stick to that right now if that's what you feel comfortable at until you're ready with Quez and the Jalen. And is Jalen out? Is Rager? Did Jalen got hurt, right?
I think he may be out for this upcoming game.
Okay.
Yeah, he sprained his ankle, so I think he's probably going to be out at least a game.
Yeah.
Probably
Okay.
two.
But like you were saying before, Berman, like I think they should incorporate, Watkins also because he's been out there, doing great, but again, he's not getting the ball. He's used as a blocker, as a decoy a lot. Get him the ball, spread the ball around. You know what I mean? That Jalen would only get better if you spread the ball around. Again, if you have him focused on a tight end or if you have him focused on Smith, that's not going to help him. He needs to make better reads. He needs to know how to go down through his progressions.
And when I was in the Raider game, when you're looking at it at the top, you see the ants walking around. I did feel that Jalen was being indecisive, man, and you did see the pockets of the receivers open. And
he was bad that game.
He kind of did that, like he was going to do it, but then he's like, nope, I pulled back, and then you saw the rest. So he has to stop being hesitant when he's just do it. If you see the dude open, do it, man. I'd rather see that than you get sacked or something.
Also, one thing that Tom Brady actually pointed out about Jalen Hurts is, they get reckless, holding on the ball too long, running around the pocket, running out of the pocket. Again, you got a certain amount of time to get rid of that ball. Use it. That's all you got. 3 seconds at most. Get rid of it.
Right.
If you can't do that, you got to work on your game. You got to get better at it.
Do you guys feel that? Is there any design plays for Jalen, or he's just doing
running play?
What's that?
What, you mean running?
Yeah, I feel like we don't have a design play for him. Like I feel that he just he's doing that, running out all on his own.
Some of that, most of it's all script running, but we have started implementing some design runs where Hurts takes it himself, and I think that's where you get you can really utilize him in the red zone inside the 10. There's no reason why the Philadelphia Eagles get a first down inside the 10 and we don't score. Between putting 2 running backs on the field and Jalen Hurts, and it's an absolute nightmare to guard any dual threat quarterback, right? I mean, Kyler Murray's a little different. He's quick, but he's not. You don't want him running through tackles like that, right? Jalen Hurts a different breed when it comes to that. So you just line him up. Now you got the option route, right? Jalen goes to take it in. If he got it, cool. If he don't, option to the running back. You can use the running back to block for him. You can hand it off. I mean, there's just too many things you can do inside the 10 with that type of quarterback, the Lamar Jackson, the Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott early in his career. You should not score inside of 10.
Yeah, especially with Jalen Hurts. There's no, and then like there was a couple games where he could just win up the middle. Man, this man bent he deadlifts 600, all that weight he be lifting up. Like you got to use this man. He could do that. He can handle that load, man. Just give it to him.
But like you mentioned before with Kyler Murray, like Kyler can't run it through the middle. He is a good runner, but he isn't made physically, to run the ball like Jalen. You can scheme plans for him. But the one thing about Kyler Murray, I think Jalen should look at is how he commands that offense when you're in the red zone. Because, Kyler's one of the best at it. You know, they'll run 4 wide in the red zone, and they'll still get it done. Jalen has to look at that because, again, it's all about your reads and your progression. That's something that he needs to focus on.
Yeah.
Well. See, and that's
got
why
Hopkins,
I
though.
say you can't. That's why I say you can't give up on this kid, because the things he has to get better at, he can learn. The things he's already good at, that's God gifted. You can't learn that. Like you said, deadlifting 600. What quarterback can do that? I don't know.
Probably Cam. Back
He
in the
does this
day.
a lot, though. He
Cam was
does
a
deadlift a
monster of a
lot.
man too.
But I mean, that's the point, though. Not many can do it. And to be able to have somebody with that ability and to be able to have his legs, like, you kind of have to see what he's got, you know, because the things he's bad at, you can teach that. It's not like anything he's not good at, it can't get better.
Do y'all think we could beat the Chargers, or is that me being crazy? Because I'm on it. We could win.
Not crazy at all. Not crazy at all, especially in the
If
position
we
that
play
team's
like
in.
we did last week.
Well, not only
They're
that,
on a downward spiral. So, you know, we might catch them at a good time.
the Patriots, I think, showed a good game plan of how to take it to them. You know, and they did that in their house. So the Chargers haven't shown very well. They don't travel to the East Coast super well this year. So, you know,
And it's funny because we say don't get cute, but here Nick Sirianni is throwing flowers at us. And I think the Eagle fans should carry flowers, because if he pulls this off, because it'll be our first home win in a long time, I think they should be throwing flowers out there to Nick Sirianni and just say, hey, you're appeasing the fans, man. Throw them roses out there, whatever it is. Get that dub.
I think I might go to his head, though. We might not want to do that.
Right? He's going to think he's a matador.
He has one in his mouth just looking around.
You're going to start seeing some Powerpuff costumes. Watch, I guarantee it.
Yo, real talk, though, I'm rocking with my flowers everywhere. You know what I mean? I'm rocking with that 5-second clip. You know, and the crazy thing is, like, I did it when I was mad, right? So I knew I had a Detroit Lions content creator coming on, so I couldn't do my flower video right after I heard that. I heard a press conference when I was at work, got off of work, had to do the Lions video, right? So I did that. So the next day, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna address this flower thing because I'm getting hit up in my inbox and stuff like that, and people comment on other videos. Do you hear what he said? I'm like, I'm about to address it, right? So I'm just like, we're trying to think of a flower song, right? And then I remember the movie Dumb and Dumber, right? When Lloyd is fantasizing about Mary Swanson, and he's doing everything perfect. I'm like, what is that song called? And I just remember I love the Flower Girl and all that. And you know, it's also, I don't know that song besides Dumb and Dumber, but that's what I got, right? And it's like, you know, with the copyright stuff and all that, to demonetize me, I can only play 5 seconds. You can use whatever you want of anything, as long as you go 5 seconds and under. So I try to find the best part of the song to get, you know, a little something. And I used it and I was pissed. I just act like it was interrupting me, right? I kept playing it as I was talking. It was interrupting me, right? Like, what the fuck is going on? Why is this happening, right? And then I was like, all right, cool. So I had brought it into the play-by-play that I do. And I said, let us start losing to the Lions, and we coming out with making fun of it. And it just turned into a hold up, flower power. And then, you know what I mean? Now it's just my jam.
Hey, if you know how to mess around with the song and isolate where it says "girl" and stop it, and you throw like a trap beat in the background, you could use the whole song. You switched it up so it's a different song.
Yeah.
Avoid a little copyright there.
We beat the Chargers, and I'm feeling good. But like I said, you know, the Chargers are 31st in yards, a total yards allowed via the rush with 1,116. The worst team is the Texans. Top 5, like 6 worst team is the Lions. So they're still Lions are better than them, and we ran all over them for 236 yards, including Jalen Hurts' yardage, right? 1,116, 31st in the NFL, 32nd in yards per carry at 5.1, and they rank dead last in explosive run plays, 8 run plays for 20 plus yards on their defense. So I'm expecting some big ones, some breakaway ones, and run, Forrest, run.
And it
Yeah, I
doesn't
mean-
matter. People could say the Chargers stink right now or whatever. I don't give a damn.
Oh no, they're a
right
good
now.
team. I want our respect.
You're right. I don't care. I don't give a damn because we are, and especially at home, that the Eagle fans have not seen a home win, dude. They need this win, man. And I don't, like I said, I don't care how bad you say the Chargers are right now. We need this win. We need this win, and then we'll talk about all the other stuff that comes with it. I think this is a huge game for Sirianni. If you ask me, I think this is pretty big, man. This might be the biggest game of the year where we're at.
And he's definitely going to have some personal feelings tied into it too, because he formerly coached for the Chargers. So, he's definitely going to have some. He's going to want to get him. He's definitely going to have some extra incentive. That's for sure.
Where your head's at. I like where your head's at.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Nick Sirianni's tired of hearing about, Brandon Staley. Because again, I've been at Nick Sirianni the whole time about how you need to run the ball. I sent him that video on Brandon Staley talking about the importance of running the ball. So I'm pretty sure Nick is tired of hearing the damn word, the name of Staley. And he just wants to beat that team. Just to say that, after all that talk, he still came out with the win.
Yeah. They're 4-3. They're 4-3. They started out 4-1. And then they lost to the Ravens and lost to the Patriots, right? So it does stink that they lost to the Cowboys first. That was their first, but then they strung some wins together, and then they just lost to the Ravens and the.
They beat Kansas City.
Yeah, they beat the Raiders too. So they beat some good teams, but we're 4-3, right? The Eagles beat them. We got the same record as them. You know what I mean? Yeah. We're back to 4-4. And I still don't want to talk wild card yet, right? If the Eagles could beat the Chargers, I still want to see where the chips fall. I just want to take every opponent serious, and every opponent's going to take us serious. And then you got the Broncos who are beat up. They're selling everybody, right? You got the beat up Broncos that's in Mile High, but they're beat up. And you got the Saints who shout out to them.
James Winston.
They got Trevor Siemian throwing balls with them. So listen. It all starts with the Chargers. But the crazy thing is this: no matter how mad we've been with Nick Sirianni, the flowers and the pandering and the abrit, that's all folks, and just everything he's done, context in the game, like you're like, run the ball. Why are you doing this? Like, yo, we could come out of this season if things go accordingly to, following suit Sunday, where it's like we just had a 4-win season. You get rid of everything's new. We didn't like the coach at first. We say the quarterback's been struggling. Damn it, we won 8 games. We won 9 games. What the? You know what I mean?
Bro, and let's not get it twisted here. I mean, you can come out talking like Joe fucking Biden. If you're winning games, I don't give a shit.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
hey,
I don't care. You can fumble through the whole fucking thing, and I don't need to understand a fucking word. As long as you're winning games, I don't care.
Hey, Mike,
winning cures everything.
Winning is like grandma's chicken soup. I mean, it cures everything.
hey, Mike needs to interview the dude that was in the Detroit game that was wearing the sunflower. You see him doing the Macarena.
Oh yeah, that dude was.
Yeah, you need to get that guy to show flowers everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's going to be interesting with these next 3 games. You know what I mean? If Nick Sirianni can pull it off, I think he's going to have the whole city back in his pocket. All those haters are going to be, like Mike, when you put that post out, all those haters are going to be quiet as hell. They're going to act like they didn't have any doubt.
You know what's bad, man? You know what's really bad is he means good. He really does. You can tell. Like, he really does care. And I believe genuinely he's a really nice dude. Like, you can tell. Just it's hard to hate him, but man, when he does fucked up shit, you just want to smack him in the face.
Hey, Mike, let me ask you: was it fair to let him call the plays? Because I thought that was too much on his plate for a rookie head coach. I think they should have let someone call the plays, for the offensive coordinator. I didn't think he was going to do like a Doug Peterson on this. I think that was a bit much.
That's his decision, though, isn't it, Mike?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I mean, when you are the head coach, you decide. Now, he could have said, listen, I'm the head coach. I got a lot of responsibilities. I've never been a head coach. And low-key, not low-key. He's never been a play caller, right? He assisted, right? Think about it right now.
The game plan.
When he's game planning throughout the week, it's him, Shane Steichen, Brian Johnson, and Jalen Hurts input as well on what he feels more comfortable with in that, this, that, and the third. That is what the game. That is who's going over the game plan. So Nick is not by himself in a room just blah 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 blah. No, he got the crew with him, right? But now that game plan that is submitted, that is finalized, what we like. This is the backup plans. This is this and the third. He's calling in whatever scenario he wants. Now he could have said, "Look, I have to go over when the wide receivers are struggling. I got to go over and check on them. When the defense struggling, I got to go peep into the defensive room, not just once in a while. I got so much stuff. I got to be a leader of men. You know what? Let Shane Steichen, who is a guy who's been in the league. I'm going to make the game plan, right? And so again, Shane, Brian, him,
Kevin Patullo as well. He's the passing
Yeah, let's say
game.
Patullo, yeah.
Yeah.
The run
Yes.
game coordinator, right?
all them in that, right? Stoutland, they're all in the room formulating a game plan. So
Yes.
and Nick can always have, you know, autonomy, right? Veto. But you know what? He can say, I'm gonna let you call the plays. I'm gonna watch over the team, and if things are going good, keep it going. You know, you can always go to Shane Blake. Shane, I think we should do this, right? Because you can influence him, but you could be more, you know, using the stuff on your visor and not just leaving it there for decorations. With that being said, he chose to do it. It's a lot on his plate, but you know, you're gonna swim or not. But I did want to ask you guys this: how do you feel about? Dang, I wanted to ask you guys something, and then I forgot, and I can't remember now. Damn it!
What do you
Let me ask you a question while you're doing that, because you mentioned Brian Johnson. Do you think he's one of the reasons why Jalen hasn't progressed where he should? Because he's the only guy that's been Jalen's constant since he was a kid. And I don't think you can grow if you have the same quarterbacks coach you've had since you were young. I think you need to change. I think you need to make a change at quarterback coach.
Nope.
I prefer that too.
It has to do with the unbalanced play calling. You've been putting way too much on Jalen. That's hindered his progression, because when you continue to put him out there and you fail over and over again, your offense isn't going anywhere. That's gonna start to affect him, you know, mentally as well. So you're slowing down that progression. You're slowing everything down, and just the fact that he is not trusting the offensive line. Yeah, they've been leaky at times as well, but he hasn't been going through his progressions for the mere fact that, you know, I think a lot of the times he feels like he has to abandon ship, you know, and get out the pocket.
Well,
But Brian's the guy working with him on those progressions. Hasn't worked so far.
True, but the play calling is way too unbalanced. Jalen Hurts is the type of quarterback he needs to have a very good running game. He needs that play to have that play action working, and we haven't had that. So that's why he's been struggling, in my opinion.
another scenario too that I look at, you know, yes, I get it. Steichen has had some experience calling plays in, you know, LA, but all in all, they're very young and they haven't had a lot of experience altogether. They haven't, you know, so they're learning on the fly as well. The one mishap I think that this coaching staff is missing is like a vet, like a Wade Phillips or, you know, a Blake Bortles, or someone that they can kind of lean on, you know, whenever it really gets tough. Someone that has seen it and has the answers instantly, rather than someone that has to sit there and think about it, you know. And that's one of the mishaps I believe that they did when they put this coaching staff together. But that's why I said this is going to take patience, you know, because they're learning on the fly just like everyone else is. And unfortunately, they didn't grab a veteran person in there that has had experience. So, you know, it just takes a little more time. But I hope we see that progression going on this weekend coming up like we did this past weekend, because that'll show us that they are learning. But that's why I said I need to see another week.
Yo, I heard a stat though on the radio, and I don't know if it's true. It sounds like it can't be true, but I'm gonna do my research and figure it out. And the stat was when the Eagles give Boston Scott 10 plus touches, we're 7-1.
Wow.
It's probably true. It's probably one of those weird stats that are true.
Yeah.
And,
I
and four,
mean,
and Mike, 4 of them are from the Giants games.
yeah, I was gonna say that before. And that's what I said with LB. I'm like, you know what? It Boston being a giant killer, we already know that, but maybe it's just blue, right? Because he beat up on the Lions too, and they got some blue in it. It's like the bull that when they see the red, they just go ham. When Boston Scott sees blue, he coming for you. So hopefully the Chargers come in their little cute little baby blue lightning Jones, so we can, handle business.
Right.
There it is.
Maybe we should just make him get him some contacts. He just sees everything blue.
Send that email, Mike, to Sirianni, or text him real quick about that. About Boston, all right?
Yeah.
I know you and Nick are
coach.
tight, man. I know you and Nick are boys, man.
I say Philly Mike for GM, man. I'm down with his plan. Definitely. I like it. Absolutely.
Yeah, we just need to be good, bro. I'm tired of losing. It's rough.
Yeah, that Gannon needs to progress with that defense, especially that line. Cox needs to perform better. Again, he's been he's not even the anchor. He's been the weight that's been holding us back on that defensive line. He needs to improve a lot. We've had issues with our defensive ends. We had the injury to Graham. You got Sweat. He's performing well. Barnett. Let's see how he goes.
You just saw though against the Raiders that Gannon has this man dropping back and they got 380-pound Fletcher dropping back and watching Kenyon Drake. Come on now.
Hey, did you see Michael Strahan talk to Peyton Manning about that, about when linemen go back into coverage? He says that's the scariest thing they have to do because honestly, they don't know what the hell they're doing.
Yeah, I bet. And look, Fletch definitely got to be better, but I mean, I refuse to think he's just done. I just refuse.
Listen, I've been telling you for the past 2 years he's done. You've seen it. You've seen the all-22 where he just gets up so slowly. You got 2 guys who are just like taking off the play. They just kind of put the arms on him. Don't even touch him.
Two sacks in the game. Forget Barnett in my bet. Fletch getting 2 sacks. Bet.
Here we go.
I hope his play increases. But right now, it's like he is what he is.
Yeah, and
we need to go back to our old school defense. Like when you rattle the cage, when you rattle that quarterback, you see they get all stunned. I mean, Golf looked lost for a minute. He looked like he forgot what team he was on. He's like, wait, is this the Rams? Wait, no, I'm in Detroit. What the hell? It's blue in here. It's like you got to attack the quarterback, man. When you look at what Tom Brady did. I don't think we even touched Tom Brady. That was too easy. Mahomes, I don't think we touched Mahomes. Derek Carr. I mean, we didn't touch none of those guys.
I don't think we got our first, we didn't get really any good pressure until the Carolina game. That was like the first game when we had some decent pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We made him bench Jared Goff. That's how bad he was doing.
True that, right?
We had the strip sack for the touchdown at the beginning of the Cowboy game, but didn't have much after that. I mean, the defense of line, especially in that game. I mean, the defensive line has really been up and down this year, but I'm excited to see some of the younger guys getting more playing time. And I'm not just saying that because of our bet, Mike, but Teron Jackson even got a sack, in the game as well. So I'm excited to see the deep rotation that we have right now. I like it.
Hey, did you see how ironic that fumble 6 was?
Yeah, right to Slay, right?
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, not just that though, but did you notice that one interview? They said that Maddox is a diehard Detroit Lions fan because he's was born and raised in Detroit. Yeah, he's the one that caused the fumble, which
that was a good punch. That was a good punch on the ball,
which ended up being a touchdown. So it was like all 3 Detroit people got to touch it at one time, and it was like, wow, that's an anomaly.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, actually, Swift. Actually, check this out. Swift is a Philly guy, right? He's a Philly native. Yeah. He was in the Catholic. I forgot what school. So the Philly guy helped the Detroit guys help Philly win the game. Yeah, a little back and forth.
Yeah. He helped out. He knew what the home team what it was.
Exactly. He like, I'd rather die with them.
Because I was gonna lose anyway, fam. Here's the ball.
yeah. We suck anyways. But Derek Barnett, right? Like he's a bonehead. He's an idiot, right? I'm definitely done with him. But with a 17th game and the fact that I thought, our defensive line was third in the NFL last year, right? I thought it would be better with all the fake promises Gannon gave us, right? But low key, we've been cheating ourselves out of potential sacks against the Raiders, against the Chiefs, the Bucks, because of how off our corners, our safeties, and all the responsibilities we ask our linebackers to do. We're cheating it. Every time that you move Fletcher Cox outside instead of inside, you're making it harder for everybody, including Fletch, right? When you have Fletch chasing any running backs, which that was the first time it was pointed out to me in the all-22, but who knows how many other times it happened periodically, not always, right? All that plays. I think, and the crazy thing is, I looked at Derek Barnett. He has a decent amount of hurries. So Derek Barnett is getting close, but these quarterbacks are able to say, "Oh, Derek Barnett's close. Oh, I got a running back open in the flats. Here you go.
Right.
Here you go. Here you go." But so 6 sacks I thought was definitely capable. I think Josh Sweat's gonna get them instead now. I don't think I'm gonna win a 6 sack bet, but it's all good because I know my guy Derek Barnett. For the time being, he's still my guy. I got paper on the line. He gonna beat Milton Williams, so you can send that money to Vic. Then you know what I mean. I'll just be there. I
already got that 100 accounted for. That's for my brand new Jordan 3s, Red Thunders. You know what I mean? I already got it accounted for.
Yo, but Vic gonna be mad one day if Derek Barnett come out with a 3-game sack. He gonna be like, "What?"
Yeah. I'm like, well, why you got him even start? What's the problem?
You got a better chance of hitting the lottery, Mike. You got a better chance.
That might be the Giants game though.
Yeah. You never know, right? Or Cooper Rush later in the year, you know what I mean?
Hey, he's played pretty good. I can't hate.
I know the dude. Yo, but look, Dak is legit. Don't get me wrong, right? But that just goes to show how potent that offense is. That Cooper Rush can go up in that offense with a stack line, some running backs, and throw for 300 plus. What?
Hey, he ain't no Ben DiNucci. He's not Ben DiNucci. Cooper Rush, you know what I'm saying? He's a lot better.
I need Barnett to step up. I don't even like Barnett, though. I'm done with him, though, just because the constant bonehead plays. Like, I thought maybe with this new coaching staff, he wouldn't be as stubborn and attitude-wise, but he's still just I don't give a bleep kind of guy. So just don't cost me 200. Like, look, I'm either going to pay $200 or break even, right? Because I don't think he's going to get 6 sacks, but I really don't think Milton will. When I saw Milton Williams get the sack, I celebrated on the play-by-play, but I was like, no.
If he gets more time, he progresses. But that's a good thing for us, especially with Jackson as well. Because I mentioned, this upcoming season, there's going to be 7 possessions on the defensive side of the ball that are going to be up for grabs. We have to fill that in somehow. If with these 2 corners and Gowan and I just lost his name that we just picked, Vincent, that we picked up today, and you got Williams and Jackson performing well, that leaves you down with 3 positions to go.
Yeah, it does. Let's see here. We got
Philly podcast. What up?
Yeah. We Papa Star. I just gave him a ranch, definitely. So what's going on? Yeah, Joe. We got Joe Castro. He's in the chat as well. What's going on, Joe? Joe, check Twitter because I dropped it for a few people definitely, and this is one of them right here. We got let's see here, Tone to Shields the second.
I was just about to get off too because this is one of them days that I'm of course not sipping because your boy keeps it nice and easy on the weekdays, and your boy gotta wake up at like 4:45 in the morning. Dang, my man put you on it. He sacrificed himself for you, Tone.
You gotta fertilize, Mike. Fertilize.
I gotta fertilize, water. I got a lot of stuff I gotta take care of.
Yes, sir.
You're muted.
Tone, I think you're muted.
You're muted, my guy.
Tone.
But yeah, we Castro, come join us as well if you're available. Definitely, we'd love to have you join the East Meets West podcast.
How about that? I got it.
Yeah,
there we go. My bad for the echo, y'all. I just moved it to my new spot, so I still gotta fill some stuff in here.
You're good.
Congratulations to you on the new
You
spot.
coming out with the new diss track, Tone? The new Flower Power song.
Come on, man. Y'all know we the flower kids. This
The
is
flower
ridiculous, man. The flower child, right?
That's right. That's right.
Oh man. So I think I heard a little bit of what y'all was talking about. I think the last thing I heard was you guys talking about the sacks, Josh Sweat, Derek Barnett, and everything.
Yeah,
I was watching that game, and I ain't gonna lie, Barnett was kind of making Sewell look real weak.
He was talk about it.
I'm gonna be honest, and I've been giving Derek Barnett a lot of grief, but
as have we all.
he made Penny Sewell look like a boy, and then Josh Sweat just took over. Like that first quarter was all his.
He balled.
He definitely did.
And not getting no 6 sacks though.
He's got a long way to go. He's got a long way to go.
That's because Jonathan Gannon robbed him for like 4 or 5 games, bro. I'm mad. He robbed the whole D line, bro. We should be in top 5. I don't care what anybody says.
Let me ask y'all a question because I was rewatching that game and I was paying real close attention to the linebacker combinations, and I gotta be honest. I'm liking that combination of T.J. Edwards, Davion Taylor, and the switch between Jannard Avery and Singleton.
Yo, Tone, real quick. Hey, yo, Tone. I dropped a video earlier today before I went live, before I got on here with these guys, and it was about the Eagles almost trade Fletcher Cox and the benching of Eric Wilson and the less snaps. I forgot my title, but it pretty much said about Fletcher Cox, bench Eric Wilson, and less snaps for Alex Singleton, and the fact that I like the TJ Edwards, who led the way with 41 snaps. Then it was Davion Taylor with like 30-something snaps, Alex Singleton with like 21, and then you had a Jannard Avery and Sean Bradley with like in the teens, and then Patrick Johnson with only a few, and a healthy scratch for Eric Wilson. But I agree. I think Alex Singleton in a limited role makes him play better, right? We started liking Alex Singleton last year when he was like, ooh, he's coming out of nowhere. He's playing a little bit. He's playing half the snaps, right? He is a little small. I'm not saying he gets tired or not, because he does get tackles, but they're like down the field where they're setting herself up for a second and short. So I like maybe Alex Singleton blitzing a little bit more and playing more limited snaps, but he's more efficient in them. And I like TJ Edwards as the thumper. I like Davion as the side-to-side guy. And low-key, TJ Edwards is not as bad in coverage as people think. Man-to-man, no bueno. But dropping back in zone, he knows he's better at getting the adequate depth in certain zone packages, or even behind a half zone, half man concept. I liked him too. It was the Lions, but you hit on that, and I thought I was the only one that was really paying attention to that. So I made that video like 3 hours ago. That junk was I loved it. I loved it.
Hey, listen, that's crazy. Great minds thinking alike, because I was really, I was paying attention to it because that's our worst position group on the field, and
by far.
And when you think about like the history of this team, we have not catered to the linebacker group at all in any capacity. And I would be honest with you guys, like I don't know how I feel about Nick Rallis as the linebacker coach, because I'm starting to get this feeling that I feel that he's too close to being their peer, and there may be a lack of accountability in that room. But like you said, when it comes to Alex Singleton being in the limited role, we don't have any linebacker on our roster that can play 70% plus of the snaps. We just don't have that guy. So what we have to do, we have to be very calculated in how we use guys, situational. This is where coaching comes in. Like the worst, like the less talent you have, the better your coaching has to be. And this is where Jonathan Gannon has to make his money. He has to show that he can put these guys in the right situations at any given time. Because I love seeing TJ Edwards running downhill. TJ Edwards was by far the most explosive player on that field. I think he had about maybe 3 or 4 tackles for loss. He he was everywhere on the field. And like you said, Alex Singleton in that limited role, it works. We're not putting that much pressure on him. He doesn't feel like he has to do everything, because it just seems like our linebackers wait for the play to happen instead of making the play.
Yep.
Not just that, Tone, you're giving our defense a chance to rest a little bit. So you got a little bit of fresh legs in the mix. So that helps too.
Big time.
Yeah, and I mentioned earlier when you were talking about linebacker, I think one of the things we missed out on was Zach Cunningham. I think he would have, bolstered his defense, especially that linebacking core. And he was going for cheap. There was no reason why we couldn't have gotten him.
Do y'all think the Eagles should have maybe? And this is just out of curiosity. Do you guys think they should have made a move for Von Miller?
Not
What
for
did
the
Von
second
Miller
and
for?
third.
A second and third? Yeah, that's a little too much.
It was steep, wasn't it? I kind of thought they overpaid for a guy on the back end of his career. But just wanted to check the temperature, you guys, because that was something I was looking at.
The Rams are definitely in a win now mode. So
they're all in right now.
Yeah, they're set building their teams throughout free agency and trading. They're not keen on the draft right now.
You know how many draft picks they got this coming draft? I think they got the 4th and the 6th. That's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bro, that means listen.
GM could literally go play golf for the
That reminds me of when New Orleans did that, when they traded the whole draft away for Ricky Williams. It was like they came in for one pick and they were out.
But it's not even like their first pick is the 4th round and then they get a 6th. So their scout team is getting paid all year to do pretty much nothing.
They're
not going to.
Hey, that's probably how they're saving money.
They're not going to draft until they're not going to have a first round pick until maybe I'm 35, and I'm only 26. It's going to be a while before they draft in the first round, man. But I gotta respect the fact that they're going forward and they're still remaining competitive. I'll be honest with you, that decision to get rid of Jared Goff and get Matthew Stafford, ballsy, but I liked it. I liked it though. I liked it because I think I think Matthew Stafford is the perfect quarterback for what Sean McVay is trying to do.
Well,
I think they understood the position that they were in, and also McVay didn't want anything to do with Goff anymore. If you seen, there was a clip with him and Goff talking how Goff was like, I like the field. I feel fast out there. McVay gave the only snarky look, like, you ain't fast for shit. You know what I mean? That was the decision. I got to get rid of this guy.
Yeah, but look at the temperature in the room when it comes to the Eagles, who won in 17-18, and the Rams, who lost in 18-19, right? We fell off the map heavily. They don't have draft picks, but they've been playoff competitive. They had one down year with some injuries and a Todd Gurley bullcrap, but they were able to float it up and still get now back. They went all in on Jalen Ramsey. They went on in on another pass rusher. Oh no, they got Leonard Floyd. I think that was free agency though. But they traded for Ramsey and they traded for Stafford, in the sense that Goff was so booty juice that they had to give up picks as well. And then they go ahead and get a 2nd and 3rd for Von Miller. So that is what Howie was supposed to do, try to do. We gave the contracts to the wrong guys, and we fell off the mountain high. But their turnaround was quick. They were in the Super Bowl a year after us. And they got beat. So we still got the dub. They didn't,
because we were supposed to be in that Super Bowl. We were supposed to be in that Super Bowl.
But they did struggle because they had some issues with the cap, like you mentioned before with Todd Gurley. They had to figure out how to get rid of him. They had to make some moves. So they had some lows. Yeah, but they had some lows to get back to where they are now. Now, again, if this doesn't work for them, they're going to be back in the same position they were in.
Right. But it's to your point, Vic. It's like one of those things. How bad do you really want to go for it?
Yep.
How wide do you believe your window is? And when you have a quarterback like Matthew Stafford with talent around him, your window's as big as you need as it's going to be.
It's 3 years. Well, they got 3 years where they can definitely compete because of the contracts they got under their belt, right? So they're not going to draft nobody, but I'm telling you, the way these TV deals are going, the cap is about to skyrocket up. We already got 50 mil, right? the cap's gonna skyrocket up. That's what they're alluding to. And if I'm the Rams, I'm all in too, right? After going to the Super Bowl and putting up 3 points, I need to redeem myself.
Yeah.
But the one person you haven't mentioned is Matthew Stafford, because when he sees, the Rams going after Von Miller and the Rams showing that they're going all for it, especially how he's been starved for years in Detroit, that's only going to motivate him and make him go all out.
That's the thing, man. That's the thing, being Matthew Stafford. It's like you've been in Detroit all those years, and this is his first time in his career that he's ever getting a taste of some competitive football. And
they were good one year. They went like 11-6, 11-5 one year in Detroit. Just
that was
won.
When Jim Caldwell was there. That was the year he got fired.
Prematurely, in my opinion.
Yeah, that was the year he got fired. They had a great season. They still got rid of him for Matthew Patricia.
That was stupid. Yeah.
Because again, Belichick guys carry a lot of weight with the name, but none of them have been able to perform.
But let me ask y'all this: Again, I believe in the talent of Matthew Stafford, but he hasn't been in this situation. And even in that 1 year that they were good and they went 11-6. I think they weren't favored the first game in the playoffs, right? That's a lot of pressure. He hasn't been in this situation. Could we get some?
Nah, I don't think he'll do that.
To be honest,
I think if he gets to the playoffs, he'll go all out. He'll be excited. I think he might have to contain his excitement.
They got to beat the Cardinals before they start talking about all that playoff junk, because the Cardinals got their number.
Yeah, but Cardinals got beat too. They're beatable. They lost J.J. Watt.
It's a division rival, though.
That's a big loss.
Yeah, and also
it's going to be good though. It's going to be good watching it.
You can't forget Kyler Murray's ankle right now is a little shaky. So
he better not be. That's my fantasy quarterback. That's my quarterback.
And you got to think too. Even though the Cardinals are doing good, their running game is lacking. Connor isn't doing anything. Edmonds isn't really doing much. Their running game is lacking.
Yeah. Let me ask you guys a question. Speaking of running game, perfect segue, Vic. The Eagles ran the ball 40, and I don't know if you guys brought this up already, but I just want to pick your brains about this because I've really been thinking about this since Sunday. The Eagles ran the ball 46 times. 46 times. That's more than they run it in like maybe a 3 or 4 game span. Now, I was happy that we ran the ball when we needed to run it. Don't get it twisted. But Jalen Hurts only threw that ball 14 times, went 9 for 14. Threw the ball when he was supposed to. Of course, there were some drops here and there. But what do you guys think that says about Jalen Hurts that the team ran that ball 46 times, knowing they had this team on the ropes? And there were plenty of situations where they probably could have threw that ball, but they just decided to stick with the running game in every facet in every way. For me, I think that this team, I think Nick Sirianni is starting to see he's starting to see the writing on the wall that the strength of this team is not on the perimeter; it's in the trenches. And I think we need to get the ball out of Jalen's hands and really feed our running backs. And I say all that to say, I'm not sure they trust Jalen Hurts with that ball 20, 25 plus times. I think they're starting, or this is the precursor to losing a little bit of trust in his arm. What do you guys think about that?
Well, we touched on it a little bit earlier. I mentioned that because of the situation they're in with the loss of Miles Sanders, Nick Sirianni was forced to change the offense and, had to focus more on the running game. But like, as you mentioned earlier, I think they realized Jalen Hurts is better used as a game manager. There's nothing wrong with that. Again, you're taking pressure off of him. He's making better decisions by doing that. He didn't really do well with Detroit, but again, that's something that he has to get into. But I think that suits Jalen Hurts right now to be a game manager.
But I would just say this, right? It is funny, right? Jalen Hurts had.
Yeah, Jalen averaged 10 yards a run on 7 carries. So.
But I expect that.
But looking at so week 8, right? We get a win against the Lions and we ran the ball 40 plus times, right? But before that, the most used player in the NFL usage wise was Jalen Hurts. The ball was in his hands for decision makings more than Tom Brady, Kyler Murray, Aaron Rodgers, you name it, it was, right? So it didn't take long to realize what his struggles were, right? So why not implement this earlier in the season if they were all hurts, right? Did it really take
100%.
7 games for them to see it?
haven't
The
seen
fans
that.
haven't. I mean, people have been out on Earth since like week 3. I'm still giving them a chance, but I definitely see the deficiencies. I will say this though. The smart thing coming into it would be like you see the deficiencies, plus he's a young quarterback. Why not help him? Mac Jones, an accurate quarterback. I seen him go against the Cowboys, and in the first half, he threw the ball 7. He has 7 completions. They were toe to toe with the Cowboys with 7 completions because Bill Belichick said, "My accurate first round pick quarterback still needs. I'm gonna help him. I'm gonna give him stuff." And this is
ask you
Mac Jones,
something.
who's accurate, right?
Hey, let me ask you something, Mike. Let me ask you something real quick. What does that say about Nick Sirianni that it took you 8 weeks to realize your quarterback was struggling?
Or
Like
was he fighting against luring them? That's where I can. That's the only thing where I can defend them. Which
Nah, again,
I
I don't think
can't.
the coaching and the GM have anything to do with it. I think that they trusted in Jalen Hurts and they saw his potential, and that carried him through. Then you come to a point is, well, we need to take some of roster responsibilities away from him. Will that, hurt his psyche? Will
Yeah,
that
but
damage him in some way? And I think
that's
that's what it is. Now we're at a
what
point where we're comfortable with each other. It's like, listen, this is what we're going to do. We need to run the ball more. We need you to manage the game. That's where we're at right now. I
I
think it
was.
takes time for them to get to where they're at.
I'll say this. Look, even though I was high on Jalen Hurts, all in the offseason, go back and look at my videos. I said I believe in the potential in development. I like what he can do. But in the offseason, I clearly said the panic button, the inability to throw people open, and all that stuff, right? So, I mean, if you're Jeff Lurie, a mastermind of football and all that, and how he rose me, you should have never looked at Hurts like, man, we got ourselves a Justin Herbert. Let's put him in the best situation to just air raid it out. You should never look like that if you are analyzing football to the top knowledge of them. I will just say this, though. Regardless of how Nick Sirianni got here, he got here. The only way I'm going to forgive him if he continues, if he comes out against the Chargers, who have the worst run defense in the league, and throws the ball 48 times, 47 times. Now, again, if the Chargers come out and get a 14-point lead, that's going to be his excuse. But you still got to stick with it. If you're in the first half, there's no such thing as too far out in the first half. Get to the fourth quarter and be down 2 possessions and then start to hit the panic button. But young coaches can't stay committed. They see a 14-point lead, they start freaking out. I need to throw it. You can get back into the game easily in a 14-point game, running the ball any quarter but the fourth. But I'm going to say this. When it comes to the 14 passes, I'm not worried about it because if the Lions were a competitive team and if we were running down their throats, but they were pushing back with some scoring and some Jalen Hurts would have never got pulled out the game. That would have been a couple more throws there. And if the game's competitive, you probably throw some more because if it's competitive, you're running on them, but they're also finding ways to stop it at times. So I think even if Nick Sirianni's like, oh my God, I finally seen the light. And you want a game plan via the run being the strength, you're going to always see Jalen between that 20 to 29 pass attempts. He'll never be in the teams again unless we're dog walking somebody. And I would love that.
Doesn't it make you question his credibility to a degree because he watches the film, he watches the games just like us. He has a front row seat, the best seat in the house, and you through an 8-week span, you've struggled to establish an identity for your football team. I think as a young head coach, having being a young head coach, having a young quarterback, having a roster that's pretty much coming off of one of their worst seasons in a long time. I think it's so important for you to establish an identity and stick to it because veterans and grown men in general respect consistency. And every week it seemed like he was trying to pull a rabbit out of a hat, and then the following week it was a dove. Then the next thing you know, he's pulling the damn
Flowers
and shit. Like it's like I feel like he was trying too hard to show that he's just this creative guy. He can just do whatever he wants. And then aside from that, I'm getting kind of fed up with him trying to placate the media. Listen, my man, we didn't bring you here to be the media darling. We brought you here to coach a football team. So I don't need you to go on these long exasperated rants trying to help the media understand what you were trying to do. Listen, be on your Bill Belichick and say, listen, this is what I was thinking. You know, leave it at that. You don't have to go on these long soliloquies and just express yourself in the most colorful ways. Look, this football. Relax, bro. Save it for the locker room. Just answer the question straightforward. You ain't gonna, it's not a TED talk. Just speak. You know, keep it to a 15, 20 to 30 words, and you know what I mean.
It's like the
But then,
Dave Chappelle show when you had that little light with someone in the back saying, "Wrap it up." That's what he needs. He needs that dude saying, "Wrap it up."
yeah, you
But
do.
just to go by what you were saying before, why is it like it took so long? You got to think about it too. At the beginning of Nick Sirianni's tenure, he thought Carson Wentz was going to be a quarterback, so he had an offense tailored for Carson Wentz because we all know that's what he was studying. Then when it came out the time, we were talking about Deshaun Watson, so he had Watson again. Hurts is here the whole time. He had different quarterbacks in mind. That could be another reason too.
Do you really think
He still had OTAs.
No, I know that, but I'm saying again, it's kind of like how
it.
everyone's thinking. We have someone here, but we're not really thinking about him. He's the guy that's covering the spot now. But my mind is on someone else, hoping I can get him. So I'm devising a plan for that guy.
But
That
what does
falls
that-
through.
but
I
what
still
does
got
that
this
say
backup
about-
here.
But Vic, real quick, what does that say about you? You're planning for you're game planning for a guy that you don't even have, like that. Like that's what does that say to your team? You know what I'm saying?
We're a factory.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Of flowers.
It's a situation that he came in that it's a GM that runs this organization the way it should be run. And he just caught on that hamster wheel. He's following along now.
Well, listen,
didn't
let's be honest though. Look, the whole Deshaun Watson narratives that were going around that were 80% false wasn't really threatening Nick Sirianni's desk as much as it was threatening our Twitter, right? Let's be honest.
Well, no offer was given to him.
Huh?
An offer was made to Deshaun, and Deshaun turned it down.
Correct. But there were still
we knew that. We knew
many
that
of them
early.
after, right? Many
We
of
knew
them
that
after.
We knew that in August. That's when it happened in August.
Right. So my thing is, if we from the rip, we knew Deshaun Watson was not coming to Philadelphia because this team is not built to win right now. He'll be going.
We'll be the Texans.
Like it'll be the Texans 2.0. Like it just wouldn't have been a good situation for him entirely. Granted, the Philly is one of those cities that's they love giving guys second chances. Shout out to Michael Vick, but it's just I can't really get behind that thought that he was trying to plan for Deshaun Watson or he thought he was going to have Carson Wentz, because I think he saw the writing on the wall too. I think it was already spoke about in his hiring interview or whatever. I think that was all talked about. I think everybody knew Carson Wentz was out the door.
And let me just say this, right? Regardless of anything and everything, when your quarterback is struggling, run the ball.
Yeah.
Run the ball. Like,
We
first
were
of
saying
all,
last year.
whatever you saw in OTAs and these joint practices that were so immaculate that we didn't need to win no preseason games or show anything in preseason games, or maybe you just didn't establish anything for the preseason games except for the roots. But let me stop. You seeing that your quarterback is struggling, right? Should be that having a run game plan like you did against the Lions is like, dang, that was creative. Seeing a quarterback that is good and still implementing the run game is thinking outside the box. But when the box is broken or the quarterback is struggling, run the ball is the alternative. So I can't give you credit, and I'm even more mad because it took you that long, right? If people were really saying Jalen Hurts was bad against the San Francisco 49ers and the Dallas Cowboys, right then and there should have been, well, let's start helping them. We should have been helping them since the San Fran. Oh, that was one bad game. Let's go ahead and throw it 40 times against Dallas. Whoa. He needs help. Help him.
You can't tell me that. You can't tell me that Jordan Howard couldn't have helped on some of those goal line situations earlier in the season where we missed points.
Who's
We left
26, by the way?
Honestly,
But I'll say this though,
And he
we're all upset that it took so long, but isn't that what he's supposed to be doing? Isn't he supposed to be progressing?
Who?
Wait, say it again.
Who?
The coach. We're all upset that it took Sirianni this long to get where he's at, but isn't that what he's supposed to be doing? Should he not be showing progression? And I think that's what he's doing.
No, I'll be honest. I don't think I'll be
A lot
honest with you, Vic.
than we really hope.
I don't think that was progression. I think
Fool's
that
gold.
look, I'll be honest with you. I think he knew if he lost this game, he would lose the locker room.
He already
I-
had.
Hey, that could be.
He hasn't already.
Well, hey,
No,
Vic,
he's hanging on by a thread, Birdman. I'll give him that. He's hanging on by
Yeah.
a thread.
I co-sign with Tone. But real quick, Vic, this is my thing. I understand as much as we want to say Jalen is learning, so is Nick, and he's learning 2 jobs, head coach and play caller. I understand that, right? However, right, Jalen knows how to play quarterback. He played it in high school, he played it in college, right? But now he has to get acclimated to reading NFL defenses. And I said this on one of my things with LB, right? He was able to get away with certain things in Oklahoma, right? It was a softer conference than even the SEC, right? So the defense was worse. He had CeeDee Lamb, and he was able to use his legs. His legs were more powerful in college. It's taken away to a degree in the NFL compared to college, right? His overall athletics and being able to find his first read, who is a go up and get it wide receiver, where our number 1 wide receiver now is more of a technician. All that being said, I'm expecting him to go through the trials and tribulations of learning how to do all that at the NFL level, right? Nick being a new head coach, I understand that, but he's also been in the game of football at the NFL level. So yes, he has to understand how to be the man in charge and take responsibility and divvy out this and delegate this and call plays that. But one thing that's never changed in football is that if your quarterback is struggling, run the ball, right? This is a newer league. We pass the ball now, but 1922, when there was no gear, it was, run play after run play after run play, right? And it got better, but when in doubt, fall back on a run game. And the reason I was so hard on Sirianni is because he was losing in ways that were breaking records. That is not winning football recipe. So he was going against the grain. And that is why I'm like, I understand. Listen, calling a game with a bunch of bubble screens in one game. All right, that is a play calling. Oops, I got to learn from that. Not adjusting to throwing like inside in the middle of the field compared to outside is like, I got to attack the defense differently. But refusing to run the ball, that's just something that I just can't. I can't.
Hey, we had it with Doug. He refused to run the ball.
Yeah, but this is to a new level, right? Doug would give Miles 15, 16 carries, right? I was mad upset. Oh, because listen, just let's look at this last year. Miles had 12 games. In 6 games, he had 15 or more, and 6 games he had 14 or less. Now his worst game, he had 6 carries, but that's probably one of Miles' best games on the Knicks.
Yeah, about to say that's probably his best game.
So it's to another level, right? We thought that wasn't winning football, and we got this guy coming in saying that's probably one of Miles' best games on the Knicks.
Yeah, about to say that.
No, yeah, I agree.
Let me answer Tone. Hey, Tone. So my opinion about what you said is that I feel that Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts are not a match together. I feel that one is feeling a certain type of way, and the other one's getting some pressure from the higher ups to have this quarterback a certain type of way. I feel that they don't let Jalen do Jalen things, even though he kind of seems like he is when it comes to the RPO, because it seems like he's keeping the ball more to himself instead of letting the guy run the rock. So that falls on Jalen. But this all goes to coaching. How he put this coach in here, knowing that Jalen possibly could be the starter for this franchise. And right now, it looks like this is a disaster that these guys are just not meant together. But that worries me because if another quarterback comes in, does it have to be his type? It has to be his quarterback. Because what if we do get, this new guy or whatever, and like I'll just say Corral. Okay, I'm not saying we're gonna get him, but he kind of has that kind of system what Jalen does. But if Nick Sirianni can't work with a mobile quarterback like what we have right now, then what does that say about Nick Sirianni? He's just like a one style type deal. Like, and for me, that spells trouble. And I'll go back to what Vic said, and he feels that the GM and the owner are not meddling, but I feel that they are, because that's why Doug Peterson is not here. He didn't want to deal with the meddling. They were telling him something. And the same with Carson Wentz. So there was bad juju going on right there. And we can't continue to do this with Howie no more. He cannot be meddling with how they want to run their system. You bring in a coach, because this coach is supposed to be here for 10 years. We need a system. We can't be doing this factory stuff, flower factory stuff, where we're bringing this guy with more quarterbacks, more cornerbacks, more we got to stop this. When is the Philadelphia organization going to have stability? We don't have stability, and it's carrying over again because if Nick doesn't figure this out, if he continues to go down this path that he's going, where he's doing all these asinine things and telling the Eagle fans this is what it is, we are not buying that. So something has to be. Nick has to smell the flowers, man. You need to smell the flowers, what you're selling us, and figure this out, man. We're not going to wait till week 17 and they're like, oh, I think Nick's finally figured it out. Because the more Jalen looks bad out in the field, the more everybody's going to say, bring in Minshew, bring in this guy. We need to shut all that. That's never going to end as long as Jalen Hurts puts up pathetic numbers like that. But Nick Sirianni, you can make this team balanced. It's not that hard. But if he wants to do it his way or the highway, then just
Yeah.
Sorry, my guy.
that's
Sorry,
my opinion, man.
I agree with a lot of that. I agree with a lot of that.
Yeah, look, the thing is though, like you said, if he don't wake up and smell the roses, he gonna be pushing daisies. Like he's
That's a great one. I love that tone.
Yeah,
But like you're saying, nothing's going to change unless we get rid of Howard. If not, we're going to be in the same position we are next year.
Bingo, Vic. I'm not going to. Vic, you just hit the nail on the head.
bingo.
How do you get rid of him though?
Man, how he rolls.
Fire him again. It's because of the relationship he has with Lori. Listen, everything starts with Lori. Lori has to be comfortable to say, all right, Howie, we have a personal relationship. Now we have to move on from our business relationship. Again, if you fire Howie, it's not like he still can't come over, every Saturday night. You mean that it's still like you still got a relationship? I don't know why he thinks if he thinks that firing him would end that. You still can't communicate. Again, he's not working as your GM. He could be the team president, whatever. He can handle contracts. But player personnel, he should not have anything to do with that.
I'll be honest with you guys.
I want him gone. I want him out.
I know we could potentially
trying to cut a deal.
I know we could potentially have 3 first-round picks, but I am so nervous.
Oh, hell yeah.
About what this man's going to do with this, because sometimes when that kid get their birthday money, they don't know how to act. They just go, they just
listen. How many years do we go into a draft? We're like, yo, we're getting DK, and then we end up with JJ. You know what I mean? Or that we're gonna get CeeDee Lamb, and we end up with Rager. We've been disappointed year in and year out.
I'll be honest. There's nothing more blatant than passing on Justin Jefferson. There's nothing more blatant than that.
And he was honestly a lock. Like we had him from the gate. Every story had him to us. We all talked about Mike Nate, countless videos on Jefferson. It didn't happen. And again, we were all shocked.
I was shocked.
That happens every year in and year out. That constantly happens. The guy who's up, that's right there for us, we never take.
But this was crazy though. Like it really does start with Lori, right? So as much as Howie's screwing things up, supposedly, it starts with Lori. And let's get deeper. How much is it that Lori is literally touching things too, and having Roseman as the fallback guy? Like you don't know if it's Beavis or Butthead at this point, but something at the end of the day. Look, you made your billions. How did Jeff Lurie make his money? He was in cinema,
he's a
right?
movie producer.
Yeah,
he's a movie producer.
He made a bunch of crappy.
But I see Lurie as that careless owner. Like how we saying, he's in the Hollywood Hills in his mansion. And then he sends his little command.
Not since the Super
and
Bowl.
He's not even paying attention to anything that goes on. But when he thinks something should go his way, he'll make that call and it gets done.
No, I'm not gonna lie. Since that Super Bowl, he's been locked.
He's been more. There's been like definitely.
He wants the attention from it. That's why he wants that attention.
That Super Bowl was the worst thing that happened to us.
Facts. Look at this. So I showed a video, and after we beat the Carolina Panthers, right? I was trying to tell people, like, it was an ugly win, but a win is a win, right? So it showed a video of Jalen Hurts, getting hyped, talking to the fans before he went into the locker room, right? And right after Jalen Hurts went in the locker room, you know who slipped right through up in there too to talk to the team? Good old Jeff Lurie, right? Bro's, in Carolina, I understand that, but he's up in the press box, but he's getting down on the field to slip in the locker room at the same time as your quarterback is, and he was the last one to enter. That door is shut. I'm just saying, I think he has been feeling himself since the Super Bowl, and maybe not super hands-on, but he's is. And I think you just got to be, look, a good corporation is ran by the owner who has the money to start the business, is putting the right people in charge to continue to run the business. If you don't believe in Howie, then do it yourself so we know it's you, so we can pinpoint. Howie's going to get the blame regardless because of the title of his name is GM. However, the GM for the, Stephen Jones is like the real GM for the Cowboys, but Jerry Jones still has ultimate say, right? So when stuff goes wrong, you're going to blame one of the Jones. Was it Jerry? Was it Stephen? You don't know. And it's almost like that now. I feel like, is it Howie or is it Lurie? Regardless, it starts with Lurie, and I just can't fathom a way that he kicks him out unless we were like, if we lost to the Lions and end up only winning 2 games in the season, that might do it, but I think Howie's going to Lurie's going to allow this man to mess with the picks that he so-called magically acquired for us. He didn't magically acquire them for us. Some of them was he made up off the things he did wrong with how he went with Carson Wentz and all that. But it's just wild to know that is our future. So I try to always stay in the football side, because once I start thinking to that, there's no going back. Like, we can talk about criticizing the players' play, that then we're going to criticize, the national media will criticize this and third, and things can get done. It sucks, bro. But how do you stop it? How do you stop
I mentioned it before. The way you stop it is by making Lurie embarrassed, by having the media call Howie a clown like they did before. Because if you remember, the only time he really gets involved is when the media gets involved. When the Eagles are a huge story, that's when he gets in it. That's when he gets to the press conference and he says, "I'm not happy with the team and the direction of the team," and he gets all in the face of the camera. Because once it comes to his reputation, that's when he get involved. So if we keep on losing games and the fan base keeps on making noise and the national media is making fun of Sirianni and then he moves it on to Howie, that's when Jeffrey gets involved.
But here's the crazy thing, right?
Here's the crazy thing. We're going to beat the Chargers. We're headed in the right direction.
Go ahead, Uncensored. My bad. Yeah, go ahead, Uncensored.
You kind of hit the nail on the head there, and I said this a couple weeks back. I put a lot of this on Jeffrey, over Howie, because, when Howie goes to make that pick for JJ over DK, me as an owner, I'm stepping in being like, whoa, what the fuck are you doing? You're not putting that fucking ticket in. Hell no. I'd tear that shit up and I'd fucking pick DK. You know what I'm saying? Like, you as an owner, you got the final say, and he let that one go. And then the one for Rager over Jefferson. Like, where were you on that one?
Hey, Uncensored, remember when
you said no to that, but you didn't. So it's like he holds just as much blame as fucking Howie.
Hey, remember this, you guys? Remember in the exit interviews, Jeffrey Lurie had a press conference. I think it was like a stream or whatever. He had a press conference, and one of the things he said that stood out to me was, he said, our goal here is to have a top 10 passing offense or top 5 passing offense. And I honestly feel like he's forcing that issue. I remember the game. I remember the Packers game where we beat them in Lambeau. I think maybe 2 years ago, a year or so ago. I can't remember. We beat them in Lambeau, and a report came out that he spoke to Doug about running the ball too much in that game. And I'm like, but we won. I'm not understanding. We won, and it was a very, very, very good win. It wasn't like a BS win, or it wasn't fluky. It was a good win. Everybody stepped up and played their role.
Yeah, we got a pick at the end, but anytime you beat Rodgers and Lambeau, that's a good win.
That's what I'm saying. And you picked them off at the you say, like you just said, we picked them off at the end. So it was like deciding. But I really think that's why we had Jalen Hurts throwing the ball this much, because they really are hell bent on implementing this pass heavy offense. But regardless, you have to look at what you have in that locker room. If you look at the offensive line, that offensive line is built to run.
Yeah.
That offensive line is built to punish people.
Yep. But you know what's crazy, right? Jeffrey Lurie's a smart man. He made all this money in the cinema roar or whatever. Ready? Let's go back and think about it for a second, right? We had an MVP quarterback in 2017 and 18 for 13 games. We were number one in the NFC. He was slinging the ball around, but oh yeah, we were also third in the NFL in rushing. Aha. So yeah, we running the ball has always the only time the best
That was easy.
the year of glory had had us third in rushing. So yes, Carson Wentz was slinging the ball around, but he didn't have the most passing yards in the league. We were probably in the top 10 because we were just really good.
Yeah.
But to act like we solely got to the Super Bowl because we passed and we didn't run is an absolute lie. And if you want to go back and duplicate the Super Bowl season, well, let's go. Okay, you do want a top 10 passing game, but you also want a top 10 running game. Which one do you have more closer to now? Possibly a top 10 running game. So start with that one first. Like, come on, my guy.
You're absolutely right.
Like,
And then
Well,
on
that
top
shows
of
you where Lurie's head's at.
Yep.
If he's constantly talking about how he wants the top 10 passing, that's because he wants to put on a show. He wants to put on a show because he wants people to continue to buy tickets. He wants to sell
I'll be
merchandise.
honest with you, man.
That's where
People
his
buy
head's
tickets
at.
when we win. Listen.
Yeah,
I live in Philly, man. People buy tickets when we win. That's the bottom line. No one cares how we're doing it. We're a blue collar city. Like we don't care about it being pretty or sexy. The problem is he's ball watching all these other teams like the Kansas City Chiefs, and he's looking at all these teams that's slinging the rock. It's like, yo, you don't have listen. There's more than one way to win football games. Okay, you don't have to follow the trend. You can create the trend. And like Mike just said, when we won our Super Bowl that year, when Carson Wentz was at his best, we literally were a top 5 rushing offense, and we were a running back by committee. We had a power back. We had an elusive one cut back with Jay Ajayi,
and Corey Clement.
And then we had the receiver scat back with Corey Clement. We had this 3-headed monster that was able to execute in 3 different facets of the game. So if you think about what we have right now, running back, if everyone's fully healthy, of course, think about Miles Sanders, who's that elusive one cut back. You think about Jordan Howard, who's that power back, north-south runner. Then you got Boston Scott, who can make it happen, or Kenny Gamble in the passing. And you have that 3-head monster again. You're not feeding them. And for some odd reason, listen, iron sharpens iron. And at the end of the day, you have to grind it out sometimes. Everything's not going to be pretty. Everything's not going to be sexy. Everything's not going to be high flying. It's going to be games where the pace dictates, I need to run the ball on this team. You can't throw yourself out of a game like we did on so many occasions. We should have beat San Fran. We should have beat Kansas City. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
We were going tip for tap to Kansas City, but that was really defense not being able to stop anything. But nonetheless, it's just the fact that we have to commit to this running game, and we have to lean on our strengths so we can bolster and remedy our weaknesses. You can't just keep playing football based on your weaknesses. You can't force the issue. Like my man Philly Fresh always says, you can't fit a square peg in a round hole. Like it just doesn't work. You have to work with what you have at the end.
We have the blueprint, and Jeffrey and Howard are like, you know what? I know we won the Super Bowl, but this blueprint, that shit's ass, bro. I ain't trying to go back, man.
Right. He's like, he's like, you know what? I can do it this way. And I'm like, bro, like, come on. You think about all these teams that are doing great right now. They still have a running game. Think about the Buccaneers. They still give Leonard Fournette that ball 15 to 20 times a game. Or not just him, but they still run that ball more than 15 to 20 times a game. They make sure that running game is a part of the play call because they understand that Tom Brady loves to play action. He's one of the best play action quarterbacks in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? You think about the Bills. The Bills don't really have dominant running backs. Devin Singletary hasn't really been good in a while. Zach Moss is average.
You got the Ravens.
They still run the ball. Think about the Ravens. And it's so funny, right? I'm glad you brought the Ravens because this will bring me back to a Nick Sirianni point. you mentioned that I think it was Birdman. You mentioned that Nick Sirianni may not be the quarterback for Jalen Hurts, right? And here's my thing about that. The best coaches know how to change how they coach according to their player. Think about Harbaugh. He went from Joe Flacco to Lamar Jackson. He went from he went from Lady Liberty, who doesn't move at all, to
The Flash.
the Flash. Like it makes that just goes to show you that you have to change how you play call. You have to change. You need to change how you approach the game based on the talent. When you have talent in front of you, don't be resistant to it. Bask in it. Feed it. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, and Doug Peterson did it. He went from Wentz to slow poke Nick, and look what he did with Nick.
True. But yo, I'm about to get up out of here. It's 11:30. Your boy gotta wake up at 4 in the morning.
Yeah, that's wild, man.
Yeah,
Man, that's
like I
crazy.
said, I really was only gonna hop on here for like I got on here at what, like probably like 9:50.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
like,
like I said, you was in here like maybe half an hour in.
I was like 10:30, I'm out. Then 10:30 came and I was like 11, I'm out. Now I'm closing on 11:30 and I'm like, I am out.
Hey, man, we appreciate you for coming through, my guy. Thank you so much.
Hey,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Sir.
All
And,
love, Mike. Appreciate it.
appreciate y'all.
Much love, Mike.
Hey,
Take
man,
care.
have a good one, man.
Thank
Take
you,
it
Mike.
I won't tomorrow morning now.
I know. Get some rest, my guy. Get some rest.
Peace.
Have a good one.
Y'all crazy.
Oh man. But yeah, you guys, this live stream is heavy, man. Like I love what you guys are building with East Meets West. Like East Meets West, this thing is fire, you guys. Like I really appreciate you guys, for reaching out to me, let me tap in with you guys, man.
Of course.
Of course, man. The door's always open.
Yeah,
Yes.
I've been MIA for about a week because this move been kicking my ass. But other than that, man, I'm back in full effect. Got more space. Got a whole separate space to do my content now. I'm about to turn
Nice.
this whole room into like my own little studio area. Like, I'm excited, man. So I appreciate you guys, helping me get back into the rhythm of things for sure.
Oh yeah, all day. Man.
Hey, Tone, if you ever want, man, I do the post-game show. You're always welcome to come through.
Oh yeah, best say less, man, for sure. For sure,
Yes.
man. Like the energy is always love with me, man. Like always. Like, this, let's be honest, man. This team, this is the perfect runway for them to turn it around and actually have a season that they can say, okay, things didn't start off good, but we started to get it together. We beat the teams we were supposed to beat. We got to learn how to win in certain situations. Okay. We ended up going 9-8 on the season. All right. We're above 500. Okay. Rookie head coach, young quarterback, veteran, a lot of young guys, a lot of young talent. Okay, not that bad. Came in second in the division. We can build around that. But you can't end your season, on like a 4 or 5 game losing streak. You just can't. It can't happen. It cannot happen.
And Tone, it's not so much. I don't get so angry because we lost.
It's how we losing.
It's just the way you're doing it kills me. Like
Right.
when I was sitting there watching the Raider game, I'm sitting and looking at everybody, and I'm getting it from all the Raider fans because they chewing us alive, and all I hear is Raiders first down, Raiders first down. I turn around, Raiders first down. I was like, dude, I was tired of hearing about a Raiders first down. I was like, when are we getting the damn
Oh
ball?
yeah, you were there.
Yeah, I was there.
Oh my god,
Dude, I see
that's
some wild
right.
stuff from your shorts.
And you know what I'm saying? And it just seemed like, and I'm telling you, Tone, you want to talk about fool's gold? When Jalen was under center and we were running the rock. Oh my god, you should have seen how the fans were. I felt like a little kid again. I was like, no, he did under center, and he just gave it to Miles. I was like, dude, this is it. I felt the page was turning. I felt that, okay, Nick, enough with the bullshit. This is the page turning, and then bam, Miles gets hurt.
I think he panicked. To your point, Birdman,
When
I think you
Miles
panicked.
got hurt, they couldn't get the. It was like a how do you
They
say
lost
that?
momentum.
We got gut punched, and that stupid call he did where he
The
accepted
penalty, the holding penalty on third down, where he took the down at first and then changed his mind and took the yardage, and they came back with the pass to the tight end for the first down. That was the stupid.
We were looking at the screen and it kept up. It did switch and it stayed up to the 4th and 3. So we're like, oh, cool. We calmed down a little bit. I'm like, oh no, they're gonna punt or maybe they're gonna kick and all that stuff.
They were gonna punt it.
We're watching, right? And all of a sudden we see Derek Carr go, we're like, what? Oh, that felt like, oh, they're going for it because it still said 4th and 3. So I'm like, damn, they're going for it. But not knowing, they never, for some reason in the stadium, they didn't switch it back or so. I think the people in the stadium were confused,
bro, because they knew that was some dumb shit.
Because even on TV, when you watch it, you see the punting units out, and all of a sudden they get called back. It was like, what was the point of that?
The refs even were like, yeah, sorry about that. We thought it was the 4th down.
You know, we even asked him too, like, you sure you want to do that? And he was just like, yeah. I was like, all right.
Yeah, and then he doubled down on it afterwards. He said he would do it again. That's the part that rubs me the wrong way.
And that's a problem for me.
Right.
Yes.
He's not learning.
Hard-headed.
Acknowledge a fuck up.
Italian stubborn. I know what that is. I got it in me too. Italian stubborn. I got it in me.
It's okay to be wrong, and that's one of the things. Like even when we say, like in the press conference, when he goes on these diatribes and he keeps on talking, it's like you don't have to be the smartest guy in the room. Again, you can just cut it short to a couple of words, one sentence, and that's it.
Yeah, he's trying too hard. He's trying too hard to win the city over, and it's like, bro, you win us over by winning. I don't care if you talk well, or I don't care if you're clever. I don't care about none of that crap. You win me over by winning. You win me over by establishing an identity. And like Birdman said, it's not the fact that we're losing; it's how we're losing. It's the fact that we beat ourselves more than teams have beat us this season. That's my firm belief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to me, and it goes. You've seen it. We win games when we run the ball, when the offense is balanced. We lose when we have Jalen in the shotgun throwing it, 30 plus times a game. That's not how it's going to work for this team right now. We have to keep running the ball, even if we're only getting 2 or 3 yards in a cloud of dust. I don't care. You have to keep at it. Keep at it. Even, like Mike said earlier, even if you're down 14 points, unless it's in the 4th quarter, you got to keep running the ball. You just have to.
And my fear is they're building or already built, but my fear is that they're building or establishing bad habits with Jalen Hurts, because if you got him throwing the ball this amount of times and he's still a young quarterback, still relatively new to the speed of the NFL and processing of the defenses and so on and so forth, you have to bring him along so you give him time to think and process, and so he doesn't feel like he has to do everything. Because at this point, now you're starting to hamper with his development as a quarterback. Every quarterback is not going to be that guy in year 2. That's just not reality. Some quarterbacks don't really get into their swing maybe till year 3, year 4, aka Josh Allen. You feel what I'm saying? So you have to you have to put him in position to grow and be great. Unless your intention with him is not pure from the beginning. Unless that you're trying to give yourself a reason to move on from him. You know what I'm saying? And my biggest fear is that this team will go after a quarterback early in his draft.
Yeah.
Here's my game plan with this team moving forward, knowing everything we know. If I'm the GM, I'm not in any rush to get my quarterback unless the deal makes sense, or unless my roster is completely fortified for it to make sense. Because if it's me, I'm going to allow Jalen Hurts to be my starting quarterback unless he's just completely a liability. But if he's managing games, if he's showing that he can give us more positive plays than negative, I'm going to allow him to be my quarterback. Then in the meantime, I'm going to continue to build this roster. I'm going to fill this roster with talent, regardless of where we finish in the division or regardless of where we finish in the conference. I'm going to continue to build this roster. I'm going to continue to remain competitive, but I'm going to build this roster. And if Jalen Hurts ends up being a guy, extend him. If he's not, you move on. You draft your quarterback, or you trade for one, and then you plug and play. Now the roster is set. You got your quarterback, and now you can just go win. There's this lack of patience. You know what I'm saying?
It's like I was kind of thinking that we should just bench Jalen because I don't feel Nick is helping him at anything right now. And then we could have figured out with what we can do with Minshew if he's, what the better arm, whatever it is, whatever. I don't care at this point. And then you could kind of still ride that ship a little. If Gardner is a little bit better than Jalen when it comes to accuracy and all that stuff and all that, it is what it is at this point. We could ride the ship a little bit. But if we continue to put Jalen out there and he keeps struggling with Nick, then I already feel that Howie has made up his mind and is going to go all in on a quarterback, and we're going to lose our draft capital. And that's the fear I have. And then
this quarterback class is not good. This is not.
The only
if we bench Jalen, then it's a lock. We're going to get a quarterback.
Listen,
if we're benching Jalen, it's a lock. We're getting a quarterback.
Yeah, but
that means you're done with it. You moved on.
Nick, though. That also falls on Nick.
It does, but again, what that indicates is you're done with Jalen. You're going to move on and you're going to another quarterback.
But won't we be able to see if Nick? I was going to say, but if that happens, can't we see what he does with the? What if he looks better with his? I'm not putting Gardner on this, pedestal or anything, but what if he looks a little bit better with Minshew? What does that say? Does that just?
I think I know what you mean. Like, what if his game plan and what if his game plan is executed a lot better with Minshew? Yeah,
easier or something. You're right.
Yeah. But go ahead, Uncensored. Sorry about that.
Pretty much what that comes down to for me is the only thing that you get from benching Jalen Hurts is you see if it is Nick or not. That will be your ultimate answer.
Bingo.
Okay, because if you bench Hurts, one, you might as well forget it. He's probably not coming back. Two, okay, if you bench Hurts and you start Gardner and the same thing happens, one, you just lost a quarterback. The patience wasn't there. It's gone already. So the trust is blown. And then you lost Gardner as well because he cannot take care of the offense. So you're going to have to go quarterback. Because now you just have two quarterbacks. One's pissed off and doesn't want to play anymore, and the other one, well, you just figured it out. Or, like you said, you find out it's actually Nick's the issue.
Right.
Well, then you got to
Does no one feel this is 2018 all over again?
Fire Nick after year one. But that's the ultimate question. Who do you want to piss off? Do you want to piss off Jalen and perhaps lose something there that could be special? It all depends on where that goes. Or do you want to?
Before we even go with it's Jalen, Nick, and all that, it has to go to the top. If this does not get corrected at the top, we're going to just keep doing this dancing around. We're going to keep dancing and factory.
Hey, to your point, who was the GM in 2018?
My man.
We're still doing that dance. We're doing that dance now. That's what we're doing right now. We're doing that same dance.
Sometimes I really wonder what's going on in Howie's head. I'll be honest with you guys, before I get out of here, because wifey came in and gave me that look. But
it's a wrap.
But so I'll be honest with you guys when it comes to Howie. I don't like his face. I don't like his voice.
Oh, tell him.
He has that weasel like you feel that from him.
I call him Smithers.
That leech.
Hey.
If you see my post, he's like that dude from Lord of the Rings.
He said Smithers.
It's Mr. Burns and Smithers, the show. But you know what I didn't like, man? I didn't like when Deuce Staley went on the field and how he was like, "Oh, give me a hug, Deuce." I was like, "No."
I'm not gonna lie. He's the fakest motherfucker.
Man, that was cringy. I cringed when I seen him when Howie's right there, like, "Come here, give your boy a hug one time." Like, stop that shit, man. Because before this game, before we beat Detroit, I was already feeling. I said, "Hey, man, I think we made a mistake by not having Deuce as the head coach because we knew damn well he already knows the city, he knows the fan, he knows that we're going to run the ball, and I think he might have been a little bit better than with Jalen Hurts than what
Yo, and
Nick
Birdman,
Sirianni is doing."
Dude, he couldn't even devise a good running
Birdman,
game against us.
look, here's the thing. Here's the kicker about that. If he would have went with Deuce, it would have been a more natural pivot. If let's just say Deuce didn't work out, it wouldn't be as
It wouldn't hurt.
it wouldn't be as catastrophic as you bringing in this entire new guys, entire new staff, and it not working. By you transitioning to Deuce, you can you still have that look of the old regime, but at the same time, there's not an overcommitment. Like you don't have to be totally bought in to that situation because again, he was already on the team. He knows he already was on the staff, so it can appear to be a natural pivot, almost like an interim head coach coming in, and then you find out, okay, like we
Right.
need actually
Look at
But the thing I would be afraid of,
but-
if Deuce would be the coach, who would have been his staff?
Yeah,
Because again, it
but
goes by a lot of connections you have in the NFL. That's what builds a good staff. Deuce doesn't have those connections, so I don't think that
it's not
staff would have been
even
up to par.
man. It's not even that. It's much
Yeah,
simpler
but Vic,
than
this staff ain't even up to par.
Yeah,
Hey,
but
but
it's
this-
much
hey, bro.
simpler than that, my guy. It's simple. Deuce is literally a fucking.
But dude, that's the thing I said before. Deuce is a fan favorite because of the player. We don't separate the player and the coach. That's one thing we don't do. We don't separate that. Deuce the coach is something totally different as Deuce the player. I don't see Deuce the coach as highly as I see Deuce the player. Deuce the coach is still going through things. Deuce the coach still needs to learn because, again, like I just said, he didn't devise a good running plan against us. So if he can't even do what he's charged to do, how do I expect him to do even better with a higher position?
No, and I get that, man. But that it's plain and simple, though. He's just not that coach that's going to take shit.
Yeah, but he was just
You know,
a fan favorite. I think that's all it
that's
was.
plain and simple why
I
he
mean,
did not get the job. Deuce
yeah,
is
that's
not one
really
of
why.
those guys
Yeah, that's
you're going to
exactly
walk
why
up
he didn't get
to
the
and
job.
tell him exactly what he's going to do, and he's going to turn around and say, "Fuck you! I'm going to run it my way." Like that's why I'm here, and they knew that, and they know how Deuce is.
I
That's
also
why
think
he
that's
didn't
why
get it.
Josh McDaniel didn't get a job either, because Josh
Yeah.
McDaniel he's a vocal guy.
He's
You know
not
what
a
I'm
toy.
saying?
I think he's waiting for that
they
New England
don't
job to
wanna
open
work
up.
with
He's
Howie
waiting for
Roseman.
Bill to be done, and he takes over.
Nobody wants to work with Howie Roseman. It's
That's
already out.
that's the bottom line.
It's already
Yeah.
out there. Like
Listen,
the enemy ain't
the
coming
league
over here.
knows the league knows about
And
this
that-
man. They know.
And that's where Jeffrey Lurie should be concerned. The fact that when it affects business, when people don't want to come to Philadelphia because of Howie, that's when you need to decide to make a move.
Free
Because now
agents
he's
don't even
hindering
like
this
coming
team of
here.
going forward.
Team like free agents we're not even a destination players think about in trades or even free agency, like, because they know that. Think about it like this, man. Howie is the type of GM to pull a guy so he doesn't get his incentives in his contract. Like he's that kind
Joe
of guy.
Banner Jr.
Like no lie, man. There's one way to do it, but no one will ever agree to do it, and you'll never get anyone to agree to do it. But the only way to get Howie gone, especially if he doesn't get gone on his own terms, you got to affect the man's wallet.
I think
No
you got to
lie.
give him a better
That-
position.
that is exactly. Listen, there's one thing I know. Okay, yeah, Jeffrey Lurie loves this team, but he loves his money more. You know, you pick it 2 weeks, don't buy anything Eagles, don't go to a fucking game, have literally empty seats for 2 weeks, and we're all making the statement it's because Howie's still here. He'll get fucking fired.
Uncensored.
he
Are you
won't be
suggesting a
making money.
boycott?
Fuck yeah. If he would, fuck yeah. Because listen, what more would it hurt? And like I said, you never get everyone to agree on it. But the fact is, though, that's the only way that it would possibly happen. You can sit here and cheer all you want, fire Howie. He's still fucking making money. He don't give a fuck. You're filling his wallet. If you're not filling his wallet, then he's pissed.
But
So
the
how do
ticket,
you get him?
ticket
I
prices
can't see
are going
I can't
down.
see Eagles fan boycotting
That's
anything.
what I'm saying.
We'll
You
buy
never
tickets
get
at
anyone to
our
agree
lowest.
to
Yeah,
it.
but AK,
That's the thing. You never get anyone to agree to it. But here's the thing: if you want it bad enough, stop bitching about it and do something about it.
Sure.
AK, check this out. When Philly Foothills was over there in Philly, and we're getting other opposing teams not taking over the stadium, but they're showing up more now, man. And I'm not used
San
to hearing
Francisco
that
took
or
over.
seeing that.
I'm not
So-
gonna lie,
Those
yo.
fans took
Like,
over.
I
Jeffrey-
didn't like that San Fran situation
Yeah,
because
San Fran took over. They went to the Rocky statue.
the last time a team came in our city and tried to mess with our Rocky statue, we smacked them in the NFC Championship.
This
So-
year, no.
So that doesn't sit right with me. I'll be honest, man. There's something missing in this Eagles team. Like there's not enough grit, not enough. These guys don't seem.
Vocal leaders. Where's our vocal leaders at?
I don't want to say Brian Dawkins because like right now it's becoming cliche.
I'm sure one of
But
them's
that
on
heart, that's what we need. Heart like Dawkins that came out. That would come up to the team and yell at you and tell you what you did wrong. And you couldn't say anything because you respect that man. You understand when he's telling you something, and he's that passionate. I fucked up. I need to do better. That's what we need on the team.
We should have never got rid of Michael Jenkins.
Facts.
Major facts.
You don't get rid of someone like that who's a Swiss Army knife on defense, and he is literally the pulse of your defense.
So, who got rid of Malcolm?
Bro, Malcolm made it clear who got rid of him. He made it clear that he didn't say no names, but we knew who it was. He said I felt disrespected for all I did for this city, all I did for this.
Mr. Howie
I felt
Roseman.
disrespected.
Howie Roseman again screwed it up again.
Yeah.
Big time, man. But look, fellas, I'm about to get out of here. I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna catch up with you guys another time, man. We all gotta connect again. Y'all already know.
Thank you for coming through, man. I appreciate it, man.
Thank you so much.
Hey, like I said, I'll be in contact. I'll send you a link for Sunday for the post game.
For sure,
Oh, yeah.
for sure, man. Just again, just send me the link and we can kick it for sure.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
All right,
Appreciate you coming through, my guy. Have a good one.
One
All
love.
right, so much love.
Yeah, man.
Man, look at you getting all the guests on your show, huh, guys?
Yeah, I dropped a link to. I even dropped it
Yes,
to
sir.
Fresh, to LB, to Philly 500. See if if any of them had some time to come on. Possibly, I know it was kind of late notice. I even dropped it to King, to King Kincaid.
I just noticed that. What does it say? Wagyu? What does it say? Wagyu something?
Wagyu Productions, baby.
Wagyu.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Like my man AK says, if you like the Wagyu, subscribe too.
That too.
Is that the Taco Bell bell?
Brought to
That's
you by
awesome.
Taco Bell. Brought to you by Taco Bell.
Steel base,
Where
steel
we sell
taco.
you Wagyu meat in your tacos.
The Wagyu taco. Dude, I still, you know what? Ever since you guys said that story, dude, I've been getting like, I think my phone's listening to me. I've been getting these little recipes showing like get a Wagyu. I'm like, what the? How do they know I said something about Wagyu, man? My damn phone's listening to me, man.
That is so creepy.
Yeah,
I hate that
I
shit.
was in Vegas and I seen like a Wagyu plate. I was like, are you kidding me? I can't even. I said Wagyu one time, and now the phone's telling me go get some dinner with some
Yeah.
Wagyu.
Go get you some Wagyu steak.
Hey, you guys seen that Squid Game on Netflix?
Not
No,
yet.
but my oldest was
No.
telling me about it. What do you think?
I think it's a trip. I would take a look. It's something different. But it's cool. I just finished the series, so I would recommend it. It's a trip. Looking
Pretty
at
violent?
it.
Pretty violent.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's. I can't give away too much. I don't want to kill it, but yeah,
Right.
it's pretty intense to say the least. But I think it's pretty interesting. You guys should take a look at Squid Game. But
Yeah, there's a couple things I got to catch up. That Colin Kaepernick thing on Netflix too. I had a lot of people talking about that.
oh,
Really?
Oh yeah, because he's
Oh.
saying that the NFL's new slave ship or something like that. I don't
And
know.
I heard that
Yeah,
it's like limited too, which is weird for Netflix.
Listen,
But it's a
man.
limited showing. They said.
I didn't watch it, but my wife did, and she's like, he really puts it on.
Is it like The Rock? Remember how when he did his, like his whole thing was fake. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, but the thing
I'm
about
not
the
speaking
thing
on
about
it. You
Cap,
watch and get your own interpretation, then
Yeah,
we'll talk
the-
about it.
Yeah, the thing about Cap is just like it just sucks the way it all went down, man. It was all bad timing. He got that injury, and I was looking at some video. Man, he got sucked up. I don't know if you saw Kaepernick. He was all like bones,
Oh
and
yeah.
then it just kind of sucked because I was a fan of his when he was like kind of like doing some Randall Cunningham type shit, and even faster, dude. And it just sucks that they weren't able to get back to their winning ways. As much as I don't want Niners winning Super Bowls, but I thought he brought like this new aspect, especially when he went down in Green Bay and just handed Aaron Rodgers that ass whipping. I was like, dude, who is this dude? And
Yeah.
it just never got back, and I think it was just unfortunate, man. And now he's just doing his thing now, which is it's sort of football related, but not really, But
It's just sad that a lot of people's anger and their hate for whatever the reason that they had, they just focused it on him for no reason.
yeah,
He went to a soldier and asked what was the best way to go about it. And again, that's the thing, people don't even talk about it. He literally went to a soldier to ask what's the best way to go about it. So for everyone thinks that he did it wrong, go talk to that soldier too. Go talk to the guy you think who's defending your country, who you're standing up for, was the same person who told him what to do. That's the thing that goes on deaf ears. He tried to go the right way about it, and he still was
yeah.
blamed for everything. Again, he had nothing to do. All he was doing was trying to put attention to something that was wrong. And a lot of people took it the wrong way because they might have thought that whatever was wrong was actually right. That could have been their feelings, you know what I mean? But again, they sacrificed his career to his part. He took it in stride. He could
Yeah,
have complained. He could
the
have he could have
NFL.
did a lot, but he did it.
See, but the thing too is weird is that the NFL is like the mafia, dude. If you rub someone the wrong way, you're getting look what happened to Gruden. I can go on and on. If you do something that you were out of line in, they find some way to either get you the axe or they kind of brush it under. Like even with Robert Kraft, Robert Kraft's still an owner, and even though supposedly was minors that he was with, but he's still an owner. But it's like Tom Brady gets away with a lot of stuff, but it's like it's the business aspect. Even it goes down to Las Vegas. They got huge contract. Even Jerry Jones is the top dog. Even Jerry Jones can get caught on camera with blowing hookers, and he's still gonna be the owner and still gonna get praised because why? Because of that revenue. All they do when you turn on ESPN is Cowboys, Cowboys, Cowboys. Especially that they're winning right now, it's all Cowboys. But it's
If
because
you
it
want
generates that cash, man.
if you want to know how bad the NFL could be, watch the movie Concussion. They discredit a world-renowned doctor. He was trying to bring light to the fact that a lot of these players were suffering from something they didn't know at the time was CTE. It was affecting a lot of players personally. Players were having lashes out in their families.
Yep.
There was a lot of domestic violence, and he wanted to bring light to that and show the NFL players are getting hurt because of the game they're playing and how they're playing it, and the NFL discredited him. You know what I mean? The
I hope
NFL
that
took a lot
doctor's
away
still
from him.
alive. I hope
And one
that
of the
doctor's
lines for that
still alive.
movie is very true. The NFL took Sunday away from God. That's how powerful they are. I'm not trying to be blasphemous, but let's be honest. They took Sunday away from them. So yeah, they're very powerful. And with every organization that there is now, they might have a face to the public where they're very nice, but in the background where things that we don't see, yeah, they can get real evil. They can cover if they want to cover something up. Believe me, they will.
Oh yeah. Yeah, just some stories just kind of go unnoticed and stuff like that. But like
Yep.
it's that even in Roger Goodell, who was Roger Goodell before Roger Goodell became who he is, man? I couldn't tell you. But
He was Paul Tagliabue's underling.
dude, that dude, that dude's got some major pull, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like I don't know. It's just like he's like this super famous person, but all he does is he handles football relations. It's like the weirdest thing that we pay this man all that money to do what really? I mean, what does he really do? I don't.
Well, the owners love him because of like we were talking about earlier. These TV deals are going to come through. That's all. That's all because of Roger Goodell.
Right.
So again, the reason why he's in the position he is in is he constantly makes the owners money, and they love that.
Said the Raiders released somebody.
Yeah, the Raiders are going to be stuck. I don't know what they're going to do, if they're going to start Zay Jones or not, but yeah, they're stuck.
Do you guys think the Raiders might go after Deshaun?
Oh,
In the offseason?
it just said
Oh,
breaking
now
news.
Deshaun,
They
Watson,
released.
Deshaun Jackson's a free agent.
Oh, they went for Deshaun Jackson. But,
No,
that's right. He got released. That's right.
The Raiders release Henry Ruggs. Right
Yeah,
now.
listen. Hey,
Oh, yeah,
shout out
sure.
to Gate City. It was a joke at the time, but on draft day when they drafted him, he even said it. I doubt he even gets to his second contract. He'd get released beforehand. And again, he meant by just because of his play. I don't think he meant this would happen, but shout out to Gate City. He's a prognosticator on that one.
Right?
Yeah, shout out to I don't know if you guys know who the Spotlight what is it? The Spotlight Raiders Talk. You guys know who that is?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like him. He's going
It's an unfortunate situation. Again, I feel for the victim's parents. Like for Henry Ruggs, I don't feel sorry for him at all. He made a stupid mistake. I understand he's young. Everyone makes mistakes. But when you take someone's life, you're gonna have to make up for it somehow. Whether it be by God, getting with that family should be the first thing he should do. Apologizing to that family.
Do you think he does any time?
Oh, I don't know. I heard the laws in Nevada are crazy.
Because I heard minimum 2 years prison.
Yeah, he's looking at 2 to 20 years.
And now you got to think about anything that he's earned is not going to go to a lawyer.
Right. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Without a doubt.
I mean, but can you imagine if you're in that? Imagine if we were the Raiders right now, finally getting some traction, winning some games here. You went through the whole Gruden situation, which was literally 2 weeks ago, and now you just get slammed with Ruggs. Is one of your top dogs right now? Is just and he was on the brink of he was going on. His stock was up.
Yeah, the breakout season. Yeah,
and just to get slapped in the face because they got Dallas coming up, and I told Raider fans, I said, if you guys are really about it and gonna make a run, you guys have to beat Dallas. Because Dallas, I don't care how good or bad you think they are, beat that team because they have the numbers right now showing, Dak's numbers, all the receivers, they got the running game. I say you beat Dallas and you guys are going to be a for real team. If you guys show up and you get smacked by Dallas, you guys aren't ready for the playoffs because that's a playoff team, especially in our division. I mean, we're going to fight. And right now, I think Dallas is looking at they might be winning 14 games here, guys. And I don't even think Dallas versus Eagles is going to mean anything. I don't know how it would, unless it has to do with the rankings or something. That's what I'm hoping.
Or us in position to get a wild card win.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Oh, not a win, but I'm saying to get in by a wild card.
Well, I mean,
that'd be the only way it'll be meaningful.
But do you think Dallas would play their starters if it's meaning for us to get in the playoffs?
McCarthy, no, he'll rest starters. Yeah.
So that we could just So realistically, what number do we have to get to for it to be possible? Is it 8 or 9 to actually be?
Oh, I didn't check out the standings. I know a lot of people have been putting it out there. I honestly don't know what it would be.
I don't know if 7 gets us in unless the other teams start playing really bad. But
I'd say 9.
9?
I would say 9 too. Yeah.
9. Okay. All right. And you know what? And it is possible. So if Dallas is already set in stone, then that's already a win right there.
But again, you never know because there's been teams that they had hot starts, 5-0, 6-0, and they let it go to shambles. You never know. We can't say anything's a definite at all, especially with the NFL. Nothing's a definite.
You mean as far as them getting in the playoffs or their record?
Yeah, because you never know. Again, with the Dak injury, I know it's not nothing serious, but you never know what can come out of it. If their play is poor, they get a little too ahead of themselves. Their defense is playing great, but if they make one too many mistakes or an injury comes around, it changes the whole season.
And it may not be something serious right now with Dak, but what kept him out of this last game was a calf injury. Sometimes calf injuries, if you push it too hard, I'm not wishing this on anybody, but those can lead to tearing an Achilles. Exactly. So if something like that was to happen, Cooper Rush ain't going to be able to finish out the season for the Cowboys in any kind of solid fashion. No, they'll be able to barely, tread water at that
Well,
point.
we're at the midpoint of the season right now, so a lot can still happen. Had this been the last quarter going into it, I'm like, yeah, it's pretty much a wrap. But again, we still got a lot of football in front of us.
They're 6-1 right now, Dallas.
Right.
So they lose 3 games, we win 3 games, we're back in it.
I like where Vic's going with this.
Yeah,
Again, like I said, these next 3 games, at first I thought this was something that, we might possibly lose all of them. But again, because of each team and their situation that they're in, hey, it looks better for us.
So Dallas got Denver next, and Denver's in a world of hurt, in my opinion. So I think even if
Denver's at home,
play, I
just think that team as a whole, the loss of Miller, I think that's going to affect them. That's their guy.
Yeah. They have Atlanta, and depending. Wait, Matt Ryan, he got injured, right? Do you know how long he's out for?
I don't think it was that bad though, because they stitched him up right on the sideline and he kept them playing.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it looked bad. It looks way worse than what it actually was.
The Saints are going to roll with Taysom Hill at quarterback.
I honestly thought they were going to make a play out of quarterback.
They really are.
I thought they were going to make a play. You know what? I even thought it could have been Rodgers. If they really wanted, they could have went after Rodgers.
Jameis tore his ACL, so he's out for the year.
And I think Hill still has like 3 weeks to come back.
Well, the Saints did beat Tampa, so if that Saints team shows up, they could beat Dallas if they play like that. Serious.
Their defenses need to step it up. That's what needs to happen.
It is in New Orleans.
And the rushing attack of Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram, that's going to have to step up too. Even though Kamara's up to par, but Mark Ingram, he hasn't had the past 2 seasons weren't that good for him. Is he the same Mark Ingram, or is he his older self?
Yeah. So the toughest teams I think they're facing is Arizona. I'll say Raiders. The Raiders are looking pretty good, even though the Rugs. Kansas City and New Orleans are probably their toughest matches, I think.
There's a lot of teams there's a lot of issues, even with the top teams. Right now, what is it? Buffalo is the only team that I can say that's a dominant team that has no issues. Everyone else, they're going through problems.
Yeah, even Green Bay.
We thought San Diego was, a formidable team, that they didn't have any issues, running the ball. They're in shambles right now. If they lose against us, it's going to be really bad for them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, we haven't – San Diego's going to be an actual victory, a victory against a quality opponent for the first time this year, because all our victories have been against subpar teams, Atlanta, Carolina, and now Detroit. We have to be able to step up and beat somebody of, that sniffing playoff caliber type of team. And if we get a first home win this weekend, it's gonna open my eyes a little bit. It's gonna get us that much closer to 500. We'll be 1 game away, and we'll have Denver the following week. So things will be looking real good.
Yeah, and I don't want to poo-poo on the Chargers. I still think they beat the Raiders pretty handedly. So I think that this is going to be something great for Nick to put his head up. Lift his head up a little bit, because everything's been pretty much doom and gloom. Except for like the Atlanta game and Detroit. And I want to see Gannon also just kind of.
I bet Miles Sanders is just pissed off right now, though. He's seen the Detroit game, and he's seen us just running the ball like crazy. I mean, he's like, really? Now that I'm out, you're running the ball. Like, you could have been doing this all season long. At least.
Well, he texted the coach saying he was excited. He was amped that they ran the ball so much.
He texted that.
When Miles does come back, it has to be Howard and him, man. I'm no shot at KG or Boston. It has to be those two, man. It has to be.
I know a lot of people are high on Gainwell, but I'm taking him a step back with him. I like Scott. I like Howard, and when Sanders comes in, I think you focus on those 3.
Yes.
Gainwell's a rookie. You don't need to put him in the spotlight right now. We've seen he can't
Right.
handle it. He's good at receiving, but running the ball, he's not there yet. So I don't think
Yeah.
we need to force it on him. We need to take
Yeah,
a step back with game
in
one.
in Vic though, what see that's what worries me about Nick. Nick shouldn't focus on so much of that. Like when he will get there, but right now you got to put the horses in that are ready to rock and roll. Don't like think that like who forced him to put KG in that spot, dude? It's like no, you should have never. You should have had Jordan out there in the beginning. If Jordan was out there in the beginning and he stunk and he just absolutely dogged, then okay, bring KG in and push up Boston or whatever. But right now it's like you're wasting valuable time with Jordan Howard and you waited till the 8th week. Okay, he's got fresh legs. He's got fresh legs. Now run with it. Now don't if he goes home and he starts going back to shotgun and RPOs and puts 85% on Jalen Hurts, I'm gonna lose my shit, man. I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna be, I'm done. Like what we cannot go backwards one step and then 5 back. He cannot do that. He just can't.
Listen, there'll be a truckload at Lincoln Financial full of fertilizer waiting for Nick Sirianni because that'll be all the shit he needs.
Load it up, right?
Yep.
Call in the
And
truck.
they got to, the Eagles can't let Joey Bosa be a game changer this weekend. We have to slide protection to double team him if we need to, get the ball out of Jalen's hands quickly if we need to, whatever we need to do to run the ball. That's going to nullify a pass rush too. All those things combined can really eliminate him because he's he's obviously their best player on defense by far. And if we can neutralize him, that's gonna fare very well for us in the long run this coming Sunday.
I mean,
yeah.
Nick has Nick. Go ahead, Vic.
No, I was gonna say, and one other person we have to focus on, and he doesn't get mentioned that much because he hasn't been playing that well. But Jared Cook, we have a weakness for tight ends, and with our soft line, our linebackers, he could have a field day, and that's someone we need to focus on.
And Detroit doesn't have any wide receivers. Their leading receiver was their tight end this past weekend, and Hawkinson's he's no game changer or anything like that, but we're obviously going to get tested a lot more on the outside this weekend with going against Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. And like you said, Jared Cook in the middle. Yeah, they have a lot more weapons on offense. So the defense is going to have to bring their A game again.
And before this Detroit game, I was like, I don't know if we're ever going to even win. I thought the way we were looking at, I thought Detroit was just going to steamroll us and just kick our ass because we're like a dead dog right now. But being what it is now, we won the game, and I feel that if we can beat the Chargers, I feel that we can use that and just keep pushing forward because the Broncos is very winnable, and the Eagle fans are going to travel deep. They're going to be out there too. The Saints game is also winnable. There's no Winston there. I mean, I'm not taking shots at any of the backups there, but they're backups. And the Giants, I mean, are we really scared of the Giants and Daniel Pesos? I'm not. And the Jets, Washington, Giants.
I'll give it up to the Giants, though. The Giants played the Chiefs hard, though. They did. I know the Chiefs ain't no world beaters this year, but the Giants played them tough.
I mean, but did they really?
We're not worried about them, though. I mean,
but did the Giants really play them tough? The Chiefs are god awful. Do you see Mahomes?
I think that offensive line on the Chiefs is the big problem. A lot of people thought that they remedied the situation in the offseason. That was one of the things I said. Going into the season, Chiefs has issue with that offensive line. They didn't improve anything. They got players to replace them. But again, what was it? They got rid of Eric Fisher. Their other guard, became a doctor up in Canada. He's taking care of, a lot of COVID patients. I think he was one of the players that were involved in today's trade. So they lost another lineman. They need a lot of help on that line. It's not so much Patrick Mahomes. I think at this point he's trying too much. He's trying his damnedest to get the ball downfield. But when you have less than a second, any quarterback is not gonna look good with that time.
I mean,
True.
it's there. We can get to 8 or 9 guys.
I just wish they had these issues when we were playing against them.
Right. But it is there, man. Nick has an opportunity to do something with his team to actually have a fighting chance. It's right there. I mean, this is not going to get any easier. I don't think next year is going to get any easier. But it's right there for Nick to get this ship on the right path, dude. If he blows this and we only win 1 or 2 more games, it's gonna be dark in Philly.
Yeah.
But it's right
We
there.
have 3 hours.
It's right there, man.
Yeah, we are. I know it's been crazy. Been quick. It hasn't even seemed that long at all. Gio from the
I know.
215. He said Jackson in Mahomes' head all day. Is he thinking about Deshaun Jackson? Maybe he wants some speed down the field. Possibly. Maybe
No,
Deshaun
no,
to the east.
I think he means Lamar Jackson.
Okay. Yeah, you're probably right. Because he's beat him a couple times.
That's the new Wagyu sound. That's the new Wagyu sound.
Hey, question. I don't know if it went down, but did Mitchell Trubisky get traded to the Redskins? Because I know they were in they were talking compensation earlier today. I don't know if it happened though.
I don't
I
think
don't
so.
know.
I didn't see that on the trades earlier when I looked, but let me look real quick.
That would have been a
Yeah,
good
because
one.
I heard that they were trying to get him and they were working on compensation, but I didn't hear if the deal went through or not.
It's his. I mean, the Google says that he's still on the Buffalo Bills.
Right.
All right, so then they didn't come to an agreement. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at least Washington tried. They tried to get a quarterback. A little too late though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting late. My God, thank you for coming through.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Appreciate it. Definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
we've
got to
been,
get up early too.
like Vic said, we've been on for over 3 hours now. It's past midnight on the East Coast, so I extra appreciate it. For my guy Vic 3 and AK Eagles of Eagles Uncensored podcast.
If you think about it, I'm in the future, and you're in the past. I'm on today. You're at tomorrow.
Exactly. I'm on yesterday. You're on today.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A
for
few
sure.
moments later.
We just tripped out how many people who are just high right now.
Right.
All
Well,
right,
you guys, do we have any? Go ahead. Do we have any closing comments? You just want to let everybody know where they can find you at, Birdman?
Tomorrow's West Coast Wednesday with Philly. King's supposed to be there, so check us out tomorrow, 1 o'clock, West Coast time. And you know what, man? We're just gonna flower power this thing. And my boy E-Rock's over there watering the sunflowers right there in Lincoln Financial. So bring your flowers, bring all this. Bring all your flowers, man. I guess that's the thing going on, because I'm telling you right now, if Nick keeps winning, you're gonna see the whole Lincoln Financial full of freaking sunflowers, dude. And I guess this is the thing, man. You had the dog mask, now we're wearing flowers. So it's always fly, Eagles fly, guys.
Absolutely. We appreciate you being here, Birdman. Thank you for joining us tonight. You're always a great guy, and we love talking to you. So thank you for coming through.
Yeah, man, appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
Peace.
Yep. Wagyu, he's out. Well, well, my guys, it's been another great one. We still got a nickel in the live stream. So shout out to those of you who are still with us after almost 3 hours. It was over 3 hours and 12 minutes now. So yeah, AK, you got any closing comments, or you just want to let them know where they can find you at?
Yeah, man. Listen, we'll win more as long as Nick keeps doing what he did last week. Keep running the ball, and let's make it easy on this kid for throwing the football. That's where you're going to find your success. But like I said, I got to see it for another week to believe it. I mean, he could come out next week and completely go back to his dumbass ways. So
Right.
I don't know yet. But yeah, I'm AK Eagles of the Eagles Uncensored podcast. Hey, please go hit that like and subscribe button. Would love to be at 300 soon. I'm at like 252. I apologize. Haven't been dropping the content a lot lately. Been doing lives mostly, but I work nights now, so it's a little harder. I sleep during the day, but yeah, I appreciate everyone, and I may fuss and cuss, but you can count on me and my content like the fucking city bus. And if you like the Wagyu, subscribe too. Appreciate it, man.
Money, absolute facts, and we appreciate you as well. Victory, let them know, my guy.
Well, let me start off by saying that giving out a shout out and a special thank you to Key in the building. She was working hard on my intro and outro this week. I greatly appreciate you. Thank you so much for your work. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait till y'all see that. And you can catch me tomorrow night. Everyone, please, all of y'all, please come through. I will be on Gio and 215's channel. It's his first show. It's his premiere show. He asked me to come through. I'm honored, to be his first guest. Everyone, please come through, hit that like button, join the chat, share it out, make it a big day for my guy, it's his premiere episode. I hope, to see you all there. And y'all know who it is, man. It's Victory. Y'all see me in the chats. You see me on Twitter. You see me on everyone's show. You see me popping in about, well, you will always catch me with my two guys here. Whether it be Saturday, Tuesday, Wednesday, no matter what, throughout the week, you're going to get an episode of Eats Meets West. We don't know when it's going to be, and that's part of the fun part. You just got to follow along with us. Come through. Join the, have fun with the ride. And, I appreciate everyone that comes through. Everyone that comes in the chat, everyone that even watches this video, not when they're live, the next day, 3 days after the fact. I appreciate the fact that you come and watch us. You take that time out, to hit that like. And, we're Eagles community. We're Eagles family. I always say, share, like, subscribe. But, just help everyone out. That's all we got to do. And like I started off earlier at the top of the show, thoughts and prayers, go out to the family of that girl who lost her life. It's a tragic situation. I hope people can take this and learn from it. Again, when you're drinking and, be responsible with it. It's cliche to say. It's something you see on the commercials, but it's a true fact. Drink responsibly. Handle your liquor. Understand that if you're feeling buzzed, you don't need to drive home because you're not in a position to drive home. And when you are driving, everyone else who's out on the road, everyone who's out there, you hold their lives in your hand. So think about it next time. Have a good night, everyone.
Major facts, Vic. Major facts, and well said, definitely. And is as far as our Eagles go, as long as Nick just keeps listening to my mini marquee back here and just keeps running the goddamn football, we're gonna be much more competitive, and you're gonna be surprised. This football team, we may be able to squeak into the playoffs this year, but keep the faith. Like I always say, love and appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you everybody for being in the chat tonight. Thank you so much for Birdman_951, Philly Mike of the Philly Talk podcast for coming in to the live stream as well. Really, really appreciated it, my guys.
Tone the Shield, nice. Thank you very much.
As well. Thank you. I knew I was forgetting somebody. Vic, thank you so much. I appreciate that very much. Yes. But yeah, like I always say, you guys are the food and the water to the channel. Without you, it does not continue to survive. So if you're feeling the vibe, please make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe to keep my dreams alive. And thank you so much for enjoying another great episode of the East Meets West podcast with my guys here. So until next time, we fly until we die. Stay mean, stay green. Thanks for viewing us on your screen. But most importantly, keep it fuego. And Wagyu!
Wagyu!
We out.